What up, what up? Welcome to the live. My name is Brother Legend. If you're joining us on YouTube, thanks for joining. Please like, share, subscribe. Tap like, let the algorithm know that you're getting value from it. My TikTok is where we go live. BIGBROLGND, just like my YouTube. You can find us there. In the top right corner, you'll see the notification bell. Tap that to know when I'm going live. Peace and PanAfricanism to everybody that's here. What's going on? Just getting started. What up, what up? I'm trying to find my microphone. You know me, need the wireless mic. It's time I buy a new one, to be honest. What up, what up? Hey, man, who's voting for Joe Biden? Who's voting for Joe Biden? Let me know. Trying to get my mic to work, y'all. I want to know who's voting for Joe Biden. Put it down in the comments. Let me know if you're voting for Joe Biden. Still trying to get my mic to work. I don't know if y'all saying no to vote for voting for Joe Biden, or if you say no to the questions. Can y'all see the top question? Let me know. What up, y'all? I'm trying to get my mic to work. It's playing with me today. He needs to go. No JB. This mic ain't playing with me today, man. I don't know what's going on, but what up, y'all? Might have to get my headphones. Might have to get some headphones, to be honest. Mike is not playing with me today. It's not even playing fair. So, can y'all see the top question? Can y'all see the top question? Is Joe Biden pro-black? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Y'all think y'all voting for Joe Biden? Peace, sister. What's going on? I'm not getting this to work. What's going on? Nothing. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, I know y'all hear me, but I don't know why that's my headphones. My mic isn't working. But anyway, who's voting for Joe Biden? Let me know in the comments. I haven't heard nobody say yes yet. So I don't know if TikTok is better than the polls, but the polls ain't even looking good. So I think nobody's voting for Joe Biden, man. If I was working for them, I'd be kind of afraid for my job. Y'all must have sucked. Nobody wants y'all to be president. Damn. Nobody? Y'all don't want Snow Biden? Y'all don't want Snow Biden? Dang, Snow Biden ain't pro-black? That's crazy. He said if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. You ain't even black. You don't vote for Snow Biden. Nah, his son is Snow Biden. Let's keep it a band. His son is Snow Biden. For real. That's the real Snow Biden. Let's keep it a band. His son laptop changed everything. That's crazy. They was talking about his son laptop like it was the Ark of the Covenant. All right, so at least I got this now. Can y'all hear me? At least I got this. What up? What up? What up? What up? My other microphone. Oh, that's kind of loud. My other microphone broke, so we doing what we gotta do. Free Haiti. Hashtag Free Haiti. Hashtag KPK. Kanala Pop Pay. Shout out to the Haitian brothers and sisters. We wishing you the best with that canal. Excuse me. We wishing you the best. Hashtag Free Congo. Hey yo, y'all can tap the link in my bio. B1 Initiative. Tap that link, and it will take you to a link on my website for B1 Initiative where you can donate to the Congolese brothers and sisters. I've gone ahead and set that up. So hopefully it'll make it easier for some of y'all. We're trying to get to $1,000 in 30 days. So go ahead, send a little, $1, $2, whatever you got. Whatever you got. Come on. Y'all know y'all got a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? Just so we putting our money where our mouth is. You know what I'm saying? We on this TikTok. We talking about our people, spreading love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit, you know. Spread some love over there at the Congo. I really appreciate y'all doing that. We gonna keep it centered on us. You know what I'm saying? It's a drop in the bucket. It's not really gonna do systemic change, but might quell some of the effects, man. Somebody got to put them first, right? Got to be somebody. Anyway, can y'all see the top question? I'm not sure if y'all can see it. I hope y'all can see it. It says, "Can white people be pro-black?" Yesterday we got some interesting responses. When we got to the feminism question, it got real interesting. When we got to the LGBT question, oh my, did we learn something yesterday? It's very interesting. So I feel like everybody didn't get a chance to speak, so I'm bringing it back for y'all, and we can go somewhere else with it later. We're over 2K likes. Don't forget to keep tapping like as you listen along. We're trying to get to our first 10K in the next 10 minutes. We could do that. Honestly, we could do that in 5. We got 450 people in here. Just keep tapping like, and let's get to 10K. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to speak to our first guest of the day. Sly Kami, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
Yeah, what's going on? My name is Mark. I'm white, well, Caucasian, whatever. 43. He, him.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Talk to
You're
us.
welcome. So, um, I grew up in a poor area, Waukegan, Illinois. For those that just north of Chicago, my dad married my mom when I was 5. I call him my dad. He was black. I got 2 black sisters, Lavita, Ruby, and a brother, Trey. Grew up in a black area.
I got a white
Um,
comforter on my bed, and I got like white Air Forces,
A white car.
and
I got a
yeah,
lot of white T-shirts.
yeah.
so I mean, for me, um, I think for me, I'm a communist. First of all, I like to say that. A lot of the people that I admire, Amiri Baraka, who was also a communist, who used to be a black nationalist, who transferred to, well, he redefined himself from black nationalism to communism. Huey Newton, also a communist, leader of the Black Panther Party. In fact, every one of them he would give out Mao's literature, communist literature. to all of the members of the Black Panther Party. So
But they weren't all in agreement with that.
I'm not saying they were. My
Hmm.
question I had for you as a white person, I don't want to speak. So, what do you? I've heard a lot of this now on TikTok, where I've heard black people saying that they are not from Africa, that they are indigenous Native Americans. Have you heard this? And I wanted to
Yeah.
know your thoughts. And I
Um.
apologize if I was insensitive when I came on and said that my dad was black. He passed away in 2013, and I loved him very much. So
Was he your biological father?
he's been my dad since I was 5. I don't know my real dad.
Okay.
So
Cool. All
he
right.
raised me. So I don't know
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I have love for the black man that raised me since I
Why
was
you
5
being
years old.
sarcastic? Because anybody say that.
I didn't say you did. I'm just
But you're,
saying,
you're implying.
well, no, I'm inferring from your comments that you made
That would be
after I made the
implying. That
statement.
been implied.
I'm sorry? You
Just
implied.
well. All right. Let's relax. You don't have to apologize for things we didn't say. We'll get there.
What? No, what
Um.
you did said you had white sheets and white Nikes. So that was a sarcastic comment, right? I'm not up
Yeah.
here trying to. I'm saying that was a sarcastic comment, right?
It was tokenizing
Right,
what you
exactly.
were doing. So I
I
just
was
tokenized with you.
tokenizing by talking about my black. You
I
asked me if I can be pro-black, so I'm not an
I
uneducated person. I
I
understand
didn't
that.
ask if you could be pro-black.
Your statement is, can white people be pro-black?
Hmm.
That's your question on your discussion post.
Right. Well, I'm not asking if you can be pro-black. But anyway, um, uh, when you're talking about black folks, I say let them choose what they want to be called, and you got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, that's your take on my question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, why do you care? Like, why aren't you more concerned with the community that is literally wielding power and evil over everyone else?
That's why I'm a communist. I'm
But you
not
don't
an
understand
American.
what you're
I'm
concerned
not a
about what black people are identifying as.
black. There's black people in the Communist Party. A lot of
But
black
yet,
people in the
and yet
Communist
there's
Party.
white people too, and you're still worried about what the black community is doing. That's an overseer mentality. You
Is he
still got
going
your
to answer
eyes
the
on the black
question?
people. I'm sorry. You still got your eyes on the black people and watching out what they doing instead of going and helping in your community.
All right, I understand your position clearly.
Hmm. And communism won't save society.
Well,
You
I
know,
believe that class supersedes all other forms of discrimination.
and
That's my opinion.
that would that wouldn't be true to us, but that would be true for you. For
Okay.
you, everyone having money would mean that you would be a rich white man. So that's all you're trying to do. To us, everyone having money don't change much.
Well, I have black friends that disagree with you who are communist. So I appreciate you letting me on. Thank you. I'm not going to
Doesn't
debate any
matter if
further
you.
because I
Doesn't
already
matter
know
the
your
race
position.
of your friends or whether they disagree with me or not. I have white friends that disagree with you, Mr. Communist.
I understand. That's fine.
And I would
And
say
hey,
most white
that's
people
fine.
wouldn't. I would say most white people don't discriminate against me, whether or not I'm rich or poor. They see my black ass and they know how to. They know how they gonna rock. So um, I hear what you're saying, but class is not. Capitalism is used as a tool for racism and white supremacy. However, we know that rich black people get treated just as poorly as broke black people around y'all. Shoot, a poor white man think he got more privilege than LeBron James.
Well, I know I know your position, and you answered my question.
I have a question before you leave. So,
Sure.
all of these years of being in proximity, very close proximity to Black people, how is
Close,
it
close
that you,
proximity. I was raised.
that's close proximity? What do you mean?
Right.
That didn't
Continue.
make,
I mean, do you?
okay, so let me say this. Let me say this. Proximity nor penetration will make you Black. Not one day in your life.
I'm not black.
So when I said proximity, that means that y'all are close, right?
They're family. My
That's
dad was my dad was my
gorgeous.
dad.
And I did not
He was my
and I
dad.
did not say he was not. I said that just because you were in close proximity to Black people for all these years.
Oh, okay. I was in close proximity.
What the fuck? And yet you still feel like you need to oversee Black people more than go actually help by focusing on the YT community that has the power, that is willing it. That's very interesting that you're more concerned with Black people, the people that don't have power, than you are the people that you actually have privilege, power, and proximity to.
I believe in systemic racism. It
Oh wow.
exists, but I don't know what I don't know what that has to do with the
But you got it
discussion I was asking.
backwards. You believe systemic racism exists only for capital gain. And that is quite unfortunate because we see that no matter what class a black person is in, they're still treated as second class citizens. So, yeah, there is some privilege awarded to them because usually, in order to get money in a capitalist society where I'm making a rough estimate, 90% of the capital is owned by non black European descendants, you have to please them in order to even get up that high. So usually by then, you've shown what side you're on, and it's not ours. So the thing is, capitalism works in favor and does the bidding of white supremacy, not the other way around. And the reason that that the descendants of Columbus tend to think that is because capitalism is their struggle. That's the only struggle that affects y'all. So when a white person is broke, they feel like it shouldn't be happening to them. That's the difference because when a black person is broke, we understand that it's happening to us for a reason.
I'm still waiting for a question from D DeV. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
It went over your head, man. At the end of the day, you saying that you love and have this infinity of love for your father and your siblings, and yet you still don't understand that you are targeting your energy in the wrong direction. Focusing on the Black community will not help us. It's just another level of oppression. You should be focusing on the communities in which you you stand with, that you look like, and you have a voice in. But you're not even using your voice in your own community. You come over here wondering why Black people are identifying with whatever they're identifying with. That does not help anything.
It was a simple,
Oh Lord.
honest question. Question.
And again, I'll ask you, why do you care?
Because I'm interested in history and people's thoughts on history.
You should be interested in the history of the wrongs that your ancestors or your forefathers did and trying to make
I
those
am.
right.
I am. The mass genocide that was
So
committed
yet
on
again,
the whole people that were living here.
you're not helping your father's legacy. You're not helping your siblings' legacy by coming over here asking us how Black people identify. They ain't help nothing.
Well, I disagree with you,
I bet you do.
and and other people that I know disagree with you.
Hey, are you racist? Are you racist?
I don't know how you want me to answer. I just told you my
What?
feelings.
Ask you a
Tell her
question.
the
Doesn't
truth.
matter how you answer that. Just be honest.
I'm not. I don't consider myself racist.
Yeah. All right. They come
I'm
up and they
done.
try to act like they're not typical. They try to act like they're outside the norm. But then they answer all the questions exactly. Man, where's my bingo cards? I need bingo cards. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Well,
You know, because
I should go
it's
in my living
obvious.
room and not read Huey Newton, right? He
Man,
Well,
was wrong.
stop tokenizing Huey
Right.
Newton, man. He had,
you can
Tokenize it.
read it. That don't
yeah,
mean you understand it. That don't mean
yeah.
you
Okay.
utilizing it.
Come on now, stop tokenizing Huey Newton. That's a shame. You don't know. We're the Stokely Carmichael crowd. Okay, we're not the Huey Newton crowd.
All right.
So
I understand. And I
preaching
said
to the
thank you.
wrong choir.
All right. Thank you very much.
All
I
right.
appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still here.
I
Okay.
don't know. All right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Talk to
So,
us.
why was he talking about communism? What does that have to
They,
do with the price of tea in China?
cause the yeehaws don't like communists. Because communists don't want to. They want to dismantle capitalism, and so they think that by being the enemy of our enemy, that makes them automatically our friend, even though they still our enemy because they racist. So they just got it backwards. That's all that is.
Well, I almost took a nap on him. Anyway,
Hmm.
can white people can white people be pro-black? Probably not. I have a relative, and probably that's a stretch. I, I have a relative who married a white tea woman and had some babies with her, and I don't think she was ever pro-black, even though now your kids are part black. But so, well, no, they can't. They just can't. Um, there's so much stuff over it. And feminism, I can't see the rest of it.
Feminism benefit the black community.
No, I don't think that's a good thing. I think we all need each other. So we need to stop that trying to separate by the sexes or getting all involved in whatever them YT women got going on with their men. Just let them have it. Just let them have it. It's just
Okay.
not helpful. We need each other. And does the something about the
LGBTQIA community
okay the
benefit the
ABC
black community.
community? Now, what is the question about the alphabet community?
Does the movement benefit our community?
No. Well, we need to be talking about what people doing in the bedroom. How's that help?
Hmm.
I mean, I ain't got no problem with them. I have 3 kids, 2 of them are, and I love them. And so I'm probably not gonna have no grandbabies,
Okay.
and I'm okay. I'm okay. I accepted that long time ago when a 13-year-old told me what she had decided. So I was like, well,
You might be
okay.
surprised. My friend is getting her first grand.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
I don't know. When I hear people talk about the alphabet community, they mention black and the alphabet community as if no other group of people are gay except blacks. And I just don't think that's a good thing for them to do. There are gay people in all over the place, all over the world. Everybody's ethnic group. I don't think it matters one way or the other. But we're gonna need to keep reproducing, and I don't know how that's gonna happen with that going on. I don't dislike them, don't have a problem with what they're doing, as long as nobody's doing it to me. And I'm not having a problem with it.
Okay. Um, I would say when it comes to reproducing, we doing all right. We
Yeah,
doing
I
all
don't
right.
think we ever
You
gonna
know.
stop doing that.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, Africa's the youngest country on earth. Because we got a lot of we're making a lot of babies right now. Right now we're going through a baby boom as a people.
Yay!
So yeah, but there was a somebody dropped. Okay, it's quieter now. But yeah, there was a time when our ancestors that were in same gendered, same sex relationships would still have children through a sacred ritual because everyone in the tribe was expected to have children. So that's a thing. Happened in ancient Kemet.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I don't have any grandchildren, so I just kind of latch on to other people's children and call them renter babies.
Okay.
Because there is
A
some
lot,
child out
actually.
there that needs some nurturing. I'm here.
That's why I just said we need that, actually.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
It takes a
Well.
community.
All right, Auntie. Very short answers, but we appreciate you coming up.
You know, I've been up here before and answered these questions before. And I wanted to go ahead and answer mine and elaborate a little bit on the alphabet community because I saw the last time that just got really long and it wore me out. I was like, phew, for the alphabet community, what is the big should do? What's happening to the alphabet community? Because I don't think that much about that one way or the other. And like I said, I got 3 kids, and 2 of them. And we don't even talk about it amongst ourselves. We know what it is. Ain't nobody changing their mind. Okay, that's it. We can find something else to talk about because, well, when they go into a bedroom, I'm not there.
Well, yeah. All right. All right. Let me go to the next guest, Auntie. I appreciate you. Um, who we got next?
But
Uh, Real Valley. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please. Oh, he dropped. Source K. You want to give us your age, race, and pronouns?
Yeah, I am 28. I'm she, her, and I'm Black, Somali, East
All
African.
right.
It doesn't matter. I just want to jump on about the LGBT thing because this conversation blows me every time.
Talk about it.
Because does LGBT movement benefit the Black community? Yes, 100%. Why do we not talk about James Baldwin? He was a civil rights movement leader. He was a gay man. He was fighting for LGBT rights and Black rights at the same time because intersectionality, for some reason, just like disappears out of people's brains when they think about it. Like, if we're talking about being a Pan African, if we're talking about loving every like Black person, why
All
is
right. I don't
LGBT?
want to interrupt you.
Mhm,
You ain't said nothing wrong yet,
mhm,
but I do want to correct you on the question. It says, does the LGBT movement benefit
benefit.
black community? It doesn't say does LGBT people benefit the black community.
No,
We're not talking about people that identify or, you know, express themselves through how they love and
yeah,
preference,
I got you. I
you
got
know,
you. But yes, I
same
think it
sex
does.
relationships. I'm talking about political movement.
I was say, think it through. Just really think about it and think who leads it, who benefits the most from it, and who is not a part of a Black community.
Okay, that should confuse me a little bit more. So Diva, can you say that one more time?
I said, think about who benefits from it, the movement more,
Mm-hmm.
who benefits, who leads it, and
Mm-hmm.
who is not a part of our community.
Yeah, just like the white people and like in all of this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't think that anything about like I think when people think of LGBT, they think more about sexuality. I think it's more so an identity, have accepting people's identities.
That's Eurocentric.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You said you think about it as an identity. That's
Hmm?
Eurocentric.
I mean,
And that's what I was. That's interesting that you brought up James Baldwin because he did say that he's seen as a black man first.
yes, I agree with that.
So yeah, so um, The identity is Eurocentric. The behavior, the preference, the act is not. But
So
um,
be part of it is
the identity. Do you define yourself by how you ate breakfast this morning? I'm sure you
no.
preferred what you ate for breakfast, and I'm sure that's something that was programmed in you since you were born. You didn't eat something slimy and nasty and from a different planet for breakfast, so you wouldn't eat something revolting for breakfast. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Um, if I create terms to define people by what they ate for breakfast, make a flag for people depending on what they ate for breakfast, I'm now creating an identity that others them from
Yeah,
their own community.
It's a separation.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
it.
separation mechanism.
Okay. Huh, I never even
But
thought of it like that.
yeah, but see, and that's the thing because a lot of people, especially the brothers, I'm gonna be honest with you. I be having brothers come up here and they're cool with when I say ask them they race, they cool with saying they black, they cool with saying they African, you know what I'm saying? They cool with saying they melanated. They
Mm-hmm.
cool with even saying they native, some of them weirdos.
Yeah.
But but when I ask them they pronouns, oh no, I don't do pronouns.
Yeah, they get stressed about
You
it.
use all these other colonizer terms, but you see what I'm saying? We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about race and colonization, and it's like you see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird because all of these terms is ways are things that were used to divide us.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you're right. That makes
you
sense. I
see,
never thought about it
yeah,
like that. Wow, okay.
nations have flags.
People don't
LGBT
know.
LGBT was the first, not like it was like they weren't unified by land, history, or culture. Just
Identity.
yeah, if
Huh,
you want to call
weird.
it that,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like, I don't know another word, but I'm understand what you're saying. I just never
yeah.
really
Just
thought
thought
about it
about
like that.
something. I just thought about something that's very important to what you just said. When you
Mm-hmm.
think about Guati men in society, right? They always feel like they're carrying the weight and the blame of everything that happens historically, currently, when it comes to power and oppression, knowing that you're at the top of the totem pole. The best way that you can get some level of leverage and feel comfortable in society is to create that dynamic where everyone lifts you on the opposite end. That's what the
Mm,
excuse me, LGBTQP, I can't get more words out say,
Girl,
IA
you said
community.
every letter of the alphabet.
I know, right? I'm losing my voice. But I thought about it a lot and I was like, that would be the benefit. That intersectionality for a Wati person, particularly a Wati man, is the best. That I've said this about Wati transgenders. They have the best dynamic in society because they get to transition into something as a softer, more calm individual, but still willing a level of power in society. That is
Mm-hmm.
insane.
mm,
You
mm-hmm,
made me think about that, brother. That's crazy.
And it's also a
mm-hmm.
way, I guess, if you think about it, of having power but still being quote unquote oppressed,
Mm.
right? Like, oh
Yep, and
yeah,
Yeah,
in the
I'm
ish
still
community.
white, but now I'm like this and this as well. So now, like, I'm still oppressed just like you. Like, it's like a,
mm-hmm.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I was gonna say this thesis is not my own. I thought somebody put them in the comments right there where it says PM Lumumba, but they're talking about Patrice Lumumba.
19.
But Professor PLO.
You must be getting calls.
Oh yeah, what you just said is really, honestly, I love these lives because they really are enlightening.
I'm sorry, my phone is doing something weird just now. But Professor PLO Lumumba of Kenya is the one that broke this down because I was getting kind of jaded with Pan-Africanism because Dr. Umar be talking kind of crazy about LGBT brothers and sisters, and I mean he be saying some things. I'm like, I don't know, man. That sound kind of deep, man. That sound kind of, I don't know. Like, I don't really got hatred in my heart like that. You know what I'm saying? And I've gone through the self unpacking to know myself, so I don't have to feel any type of way about how anyone else lives their life. But um, PLO Lumumba was the first person to break it down in one of his videos where he basically said the identity is what's Eurocentric, but we were doing it in Africa. Our ancestors did it in Africa. It existed all throughout time since the beginning. However, identifying that way is what becomes problematic. And then I'm hosting these lives, and the LGBT brothers and sisters come up here, and a lot of them don't want to identify with us first because they keep saying things like they feel unsafe around us, and they, a lot of things, valid responses, but me as a black man, I feel unsafe around black folks too. And I'm sure there's sisters that feel unsafe around black folks. So I'm sure anyone can feel unsafe around us. But at some point, we need to come together and understand that you marching for the freedom of somebody that might unalive you, just based on your race, is not going to help you. How can something that's good for your oppressor be good for you at the same time? Jeffrey Dahmer, like Jeffrey Dahmer unalived a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying?
One hell of an example.
I'm just saying, a lot of I had someone come up here last night talking about how they, didn't feel safe around black folks. I'm like, but you telling me you would feel safe around Jeffrey Dahmer? Because
Because he's a white man.
you see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like you might not be safe everywhere, but at least in the black community, we're the ones that started the whole movement. So I would say those people have at least enough empathy to. I've been in some black families where they say they talk they shit, but they ain't gonna wish something bad happen. Then there are some that do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have seen otherwise. So I'm not going to discount anyone's experience, but I'm just saying they have a lot less power to do something about a lot of that stuff. And at the same time, at some point, we need to come together based on how we're all oppressed, and that is black first. They see us and they see that we are black people, and they treat us accordingly. So
Yeah. I like am part of the LGBT, and I some most of my friends are, and they are also like black people, and we've never really, at least like the ones I'm around, we usually go with I'm black first, and then blah 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 blah.
yeah,
So I don't know. I didn't realize people were saying like the opposite.
Yeah, it's been a interesting conversation. I wish I could remember the young man that was here. He was so the way
yeah,
his mental process was when he broke it down, and he was part of the community. He said that you prioritize your sexuality or your sexual orientation over your blackness, and
And
it's
he
almost
was
to this
like,
huge level of a detriment because then you make your focus being your sex, like I'm gay, more than you focus on I'm
"But you're
black, and
black."
you're experiencing two things. When you talk about this, you're experiencing being gay, and then you're experiencing racism, and then if there's a third factor that a lot of black people don't think about, xenophobia. Very
Yeah,
much so, you're experiencing all three of these things in one section, and I think that as a people, if we don't have the conversations, it'll never be something that we truly understand. It'll just be this terrible fear, and we're pushing our LGBTQIA family into a corner where it's really to Jeffrey Dahmer's.
yeah,
yeah,
that is true, and it's scary. But like, I don't know. I just didn't really think that that was a way that people were like choosing to see themselves as like their sexuality before like their actual personhood. So
Right. Think
I
about
didn't
getting kicked
know.
out of your house at 15, or your father or somebody beating you up or something like that. That
Mhm.
becomes, you know what I'm saying? Then your sexuality becomes your whole personality because that's the main thing that affected your life.
That is true. Yeah, it's a lot of nuance to that.
and racism is, and because Neely Fuller says we're fish born in water, so we can't tell it's wet. Racism is the water, so racism a little bit harder to see. For some of us, especially when you around black folks 24/7. So you might, and sister came up here yesterday and was saying, you'll experience homophobia in the black community before you'll experience racism, and that's facts.
Yeah,
However, racism is the reason homophobia is in the black community because we didn't have that in Africa. We didn't even have pronouns. Everybody was they them. We didn't give a damn. You
yeah,
was part of you was you either had masculine energy, feminine energy. We just, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I think I would like it if we went back there, But first, the reason I asked for age, race, and pronouns is because we are black people and we're all oppressed by these different intersections differently. We're oppressed by the same oppressor differently based on these intersections. So I ask people to, specify so we can have a productive conversation.
Yeah, that never bothers me. I just think whenever someone asks, I always assume it's like more also a respect thing,
Absolutely.
like I don't want to yeah, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna just, drop down and listen to y'all, but that was really enlightening. I feel like I have some more work to do because I didn't think about any of this stuff, so thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up.
Thank you guys.
What's good, Kay?
Could I say something too? Can y'all hear me? Is it
Yeah,
working right?
talk to us, sister.
I
Yeah.
didn't think you hear me. Okay,
Hmm.
hey, how y'all doing? Thank you for having me. I just wanted to bring up too the parallel that I see with a lot of the other things in our community. And I'm not trying to say these are exactly the same, but
Hmm.
again, when I go back to the black biracial, but the identity is mixed, I see that the LGBTQIA plus community has a larger platform to create a wider division, right? Like there's no parades for people who are mixed, but yet they are trying to bring this to fruition for us to further separate, right? But I see
Mm.
that again, the LGBTQIA plus has a bigger platform where they do parades. They create this false sense of unity and further division. But again, I feel like they're trying to do the same thing with the title of mixed or biracial, as if that's gonna somehow be an identity because people identify with it, especially the families that raise them be like, oh no baby, you mixed, you biracial, and who's creating that title? Who's creating that
Mm.
title?
Hmm.
Like
Right. Same thing.
I can really draw a parallel.
Uh huh. Same thing.
Good point.
And that's that. Yep. That's literally speaks to the mission statement I have for B1 Initiative. Like that, everything we talking about, we've like we've been like funneling it down to the main point that I'm trying to drive home, and all everyone that's on this platform is just we Africans. It's like I mean, yeah, that's still even that you can argue is a Greek word, African, but we hadn't unified before we were colonized. So there is no uh, unified popular term for us as a people because we didn't consider ourselves as a people together yet. We were on the way to doing that. Colonization disrupted it. So the closest term we have until we get back together and have our own indigenous term is going to be African. And I think it's time for us to look at each other and love each other based on that first. I think we'll make more progress that way. And we gotta kick the bigots out. We don't need the bigots coming with us. And those that are afraid to unite with anyone that's willing to put their people first, you got to go somewhere. And anybody that's putting another identity before their people can't come with us either. But this page hopefully can find y'all somewhere in the middle that we can come together because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
After Black, I want to do a reset.
Okay. Black Void, give us, well, you've been up here, but give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
How you guys doing? I want to say good night to everybody on the panel and to you, brother legend. Um, Name is Black Void. Call me James from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm 36.
All right. Thank you. Talk to us, brother.
So, so I have no issue with I have no beef with feminism and the LGBT community, but I feel like, or rather, I know being black is a bigger umbrella. There's more black people in this world than there are feminists, and there are more black people in this world than there are people of the LGBT community. And this is why I think it should take a precedence. It should take a first priority because we almost, well, it's been, I don't know how accurate these numbers are, but we've been suffering through colonialism from the Arabs and the Europeans for like nearly almost, I want to say, 1,000 years, probably
6,500.
6,500, even with the Arabs too.
6,500. Hold on. Let me look up the title.
Because I know
Uh,
the Arab slave trade is what, like
oh no, but it goes back further than
it
it's
goes
not
back.
called the Arab slave trade is a misnomer because we don't call the transatlantic slave trade the European slave trade.
I got
So
you. I
you see what
understand.
I'm saying? It's the Eastern slave trade or the someone called it I think the East Saharan slave trade.
I see.
But yeah,
But yeah,
it
but
goes back. It goes back to ancient Egypt.
oh,
The
when the
Destruction of Black Civilization by Dr. Chancellor Williams. He outlines it.
when the
Um,
Greeks and the Romans came to Egypt.
right. Yeah, the Greeks, the Romans, and what he calls the West Asians. Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
you
So
know,
that's a long time.
yeah, that's right. 65,000 years. Yep.
Yes.
6,500 years. Yeah, 6,500.
So
Yeah.
so this is one of the reasons why we have to put our people first, black people first. You know, we need to really stress the fact that African people have been suffering for a long time and we're still suffering. And we have to put that first before we put our sexuality. We have to put that first, you know. These movements, I feel like they slow our progress. I feel like they cause more division than unity. And
Hmm.
I think I actually think it's a tactic by white supremacists to further divide the black community. I think I could be a conspiracy theorist, but I do think feminism was created to throw a wedge in the black community and so the LGBT community as well.
I feel like both might have come from a good place and were used. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely know the CIA directly. Gloria
Yeah.
Steinem, y'all want to look her up, directly was used
Yes.
to break up the Panther Party. So that's not even a. That's just there's a money trail for that. um, Gloria Steinem, and that's why Bell Hooks is problematic to me too. Bell Hooks loves calling out black men, saying y'all don't call out patriarchy, y'all don't call out patriarchy. But there's interviews where she's sitting on stage with Gloria Steinem, acting like Gloria Steinem is Master's wife, like she's sitting there
Right.
cheesing in front of Gloria Steinem, and I'm like,
It's all
but you
good.
will call out black men left and right,
Right.
but you're sitting on stage with a CIA agent that helped was literally paid to
Exactly.
dismantle the Panther Party, which was made of two-thirds women, by the way. Um,
Right.
some of us forget the Panther Party was mostly sisters. The brothers was in jail in Vietnam and stuff, so it was mostly women. But anyway, yeah, so it was definitely used, and I feel like both of these movements they were started by the ancestors, but
Right.
they were used because we're in a place where we don't make up we
Right.
don't have the power, so you know,
Right. Like we when we talk about patriarchy, it's not something that we invented. It's something that we all suffered from.
right.
You know. So
Yeah. If it wasn't for patriarchy, you wouldn't have brothers saying they having a hard time getting a job. It'd be
exactly.
much easier to get a job. It's easy for white men to agree to patriarchal standards. A man's
Right.
supposed to have a job, be able to provide, because they don't have the same obstacles we have. They
Right.
said black men with degrees get the same jobs as white men that didn't even graduate. That even I believe with just a high school diploma.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
so you see what I'm saying? And even if they went to jail, that's what the study said. I'm gonna find that study and I'm gonna post it in the Discord. Even if they have a criminal history,
They
white
get
men will get the
jobs.
same jobs as black men that get a bachelor's. And
Right.
that's why you're gonna see black men don't finish school that often because
Right.
we all kind of know this and we're all kind of like, I may as well get money myself, bro. Like that, like me and my wife. I came to this conclusion a long time ago. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. Like,
Right.
what's college gonna do? College ain't nothing but a certificate to work for a white man. And when you show up at that interview, Tyler Bragg gonna get it before you. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
you know.
To make matters worse, too, I
I
feel
was
like,
gonna say,
Hmm.
oh my
sorry,
bad, brother. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say, to make matters worse, I feel like they're purposely miseducating black boys now, so that way black women can't find their intellectual equal. You know, like in
I,
this, they really don't. They
Um,
go ahead, Kay.
go ahead, Kay.
No, I was just gonna agree with what you're saying, and even though you say it's a conspiracy, I don't think it's a conspiracy because it would be a pretty strong argument and debate to say, looking at the legislation and the foundation of America, that it was written into the fabric of America. Because if they truly wanted to create an infrastructure that benefited us wholeheartedly for who we were, they wouldn't create the division in the way they write the words to define our laws. Like looking at the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, they immediately start writing down things to deviate us. You cannot, again, even looking at, you cannot discriminate based on what? Race, religion, identity, and gender, right? And I'm thinking about all these separate categories, how we go toe to toe about each of these against each other, where you pick your side that you're defending and you stand wholeheartedly in that identity or lifestyle that you choose, which is weird because we are dehumanized in each of those categories, let alone the forefront of the thought of who it's actually going to benefit. Like, think about who they were thinking of when they wrote these things. It wasn't us. I'm like, three fifths for real. They wasn't us. So not only did they create a divide for themselves, but you have to think, if we're going into these categories and fluctuating with them in the life they have, we were going to be even third class on those levels of categories. So it's just insane to me that we don't pick our thing we need to go with and go with that, because we weren't calculated into any of the institutions that would give us a benefit, let alone actually, elevate from it. So I agree.
Yeah, that's
I
real.
think you make a very good point, and I will give you the British perspective of things because when
Before you do, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
pronoun is he, race, ethnicity is Punjab, and sorry, what else did you ask for? My age, I'm 40,
Are you
and
Asian?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, Asian. So my point is this, right? When I mean, it's a little bit different in America, but when the Asian community landed in Britain, the idea was that after the second and third generation, we would assimilate into the culture and the country and be given a fair opportunity. But the way the system and the rules are, in the UK. I don't know how it's in America. We feel like America is a bit more talent-based society, unlike England, where the white will always rule the population because the system is always in their favor. For example, you can go into heavily populated Asian and black areas, but all the managers, all the top position will always be white. And there is this uniformity of approach amongst the white race where they will always eventually dominate no matter how much you populate yourself, no matter how much you try to educate yourself. Like, for example, in hospitals, most of the doctors might be Asian, black, Chinese, etc., but the director is always white. He's not even got medical qualification. How the hell are you the director of a hospital and you haven't got any medical qualification? Only the white race is able to do that. They've got centuries upon centuries of plundering, looting the world, and although you come into Western society thinking you've got an equal chance in life, I tell you now, I tell myself, I tell my grandson and the future generation, you will never have an equal chance against them. They will always rig the system in their favor. I'm talking from I'm talking from any field possible. In the UK, bro, in the UK, a white man can be uneducated and you could be a PhD and he will be your boss. No matter how technical, I was in the most technical field you can imagine, mass spectrometry, right? That's high level research stuff. The white guy had no qualification. He was the director of the company.
Wow.
This is the only country in the world where you can get promoted on experience and not on qualification. I don't know how it's like in America. I get the impression that America is a bit more talent-based society. There's more black people in director positions. There's more, there's a bit of more social mobility in America compared to
That's
Britain.
very optimistic of you to think, but
Well, we do see when if you open an American company, you might see a black face or an Asian face here and there. You won't see as much in the UK. Would you say that?
um, I I would say
Yeah,
that's still a bold assumption. America's a lot bigger than the UK, so we can say there are more black people, but the percentage is
But
very low.
the thing I noticed about the black people, and I'm not just saying it just to big. I've noticed that black people in America have been a lot more educated, a more sensitive. Like Malcolm X is one of the heroes I always listen to. How well he spoke, how he addressed people. Was that Malcolm X that revolutionized that, or is it the education system? Because I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, the black people in the UK, they're just interested in drugs and rap music and getting white girls. I mean, education-wise, they just, as much as all other Asians as well. There's a big gulf between
All right, so
black
it's
people.
like you're driving a bus, right? And then there's like a cliff next to you, and you just went straight off the cliff with the like we was almost about to get in the bus, and it's like you just drove it off a cliff.
I'll
You
let that
But
drove
pass.
it off
do
a
you,
cliff.
do you notice a
Oh
difference between
man.
do you notice a difference between a black British and a black American, or you don't?
No, we don't. But you know why? Because do you know the difference between an Asian American and a British American? I mean, sorry,
Yes.
Asian.
Yeah, I will explain that American Asians are a lot more educated than British Asians. That's a fact. They've done a lot better, especially.
I have never heard someone
Ever.
from the UK say Americans are more educated as much as I've heard you say that today. I
Yeah,
mean,
this is
when
the
you look
truth.
at our education system, we are suffering. Our illiteracy rate is through the roof as far as developed countries go. So, I don't know if you have maybe some idealized version of America in your mind,
Mm.
but I think you maybe want to come here and learn some because
Well, you tell
we're not
you.
we put Donald Trump in office. You telling us that we're the beacon on the hill in
Well,
education?
I think maybe I get my view from watching TV. Like for example, I might be watching a dating show on Netflix right now. It's Asian dating program, and all I saw was Asians. They were like heart surgeons. Someone was qualified in this field.
You know
This
why?
why is that? Yeah.
Because they're selective with who they allow to get a visa in this country, and
Mm,
they
they
select the
followed the
best.
minority myth, model
Right,
minority myth too.
exactly. They choose the best Asians to come to America. So now
mm,
they've already got their doctorate and all this other stuff. So they come to
mm,
America, they join our system, and now it looks like we have the most best and the brightest
mm.
people. But that's what we call the model minority myth. Well, it feeds into it, you know.
I mean, it's funny he said that too, because the most educated people in America right now are actually black women. But I'll tell you how many black women CEOs there are. The percentage is marginalized. It's none, zero to none. And I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of the things you said about the British black people, that's the same things they say about the American black people, right? They say, oh, they're lazy. All they want is drugs. All they want is women. All they want is this. That's actually what they say about us. So what you're thinking about those false assumptions, like maybe you're just misinformed, because as much as you think there is diversity, it's a trap. The American dream is an illusion if you don't have blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale skin. I tell you that right now. And even then, when you see a lot of the black people that have come over here, a lot of those people are immigrants, and they gained their generational wealth and their acclamation to move here to become business owners. We can't do that because we can't climb out of the gutter. Like we don't have that place to go back to, and we didn't have the foundation to be built here because they profit off of our poverty. They need us to
Wow.
have babies to create more slaves. You feel me? Like the
Mm,
people who have kids in poverty
mm.
that are black are putting another comma into the system of criminal justice. I hate to say that, but it's like they set us up for failure. Like in the long run, if your skin is dark, if you're not palatable to the
Mm.
YT palette, you're set up for failure, and that's just the truth of it. No matter
I
what
think
choice you make, you're only limited by what they let you do.
I think you make a very strong point because we're the same situation in the UK where we have had a high number of immigration coming from India. and obviously they're getting preference in jobs compared to people that are born in Britain, and I just don't understand why. Because we've gone through a thorough education system in the UK, and then somebody comes from India from a third class, university qualification, and he kind of is jumping the queue. It's not only happening; it's happening in America, and it's happening in Britain as well. And I don't know what the reason behind it is, because we've gone through the Western university system. We're born here, we've been educated here, and then suddenly somebody comes from abroad with far less qualification than us, and suddenly he's ahead of the queue. Is that
I
the same
want
situation in America?
I want to say something to what he said that I think all of us got. We just didn't address it. And the scenario that brother uses every time is that everyone's swimming in this water and they don't realize they're wet. He said that the media. He went off of what or how black people are based on the media, and I think that we negate how influential television, radio, and media in general affects everyone's identity or the thought of how people are, particularly when it comes to black people. But it's almost like this correlation that you're doing right now with minorities and black people, but it's still a level of separation that you're doing, and you're still like pitfalling black people into this category. And it's so interesting because I'm listening to you. It's like you want to be associated with the struggle in a way that you're being oppressed, or you're being what is the word that I'm looking for? You're being shut out of certain arenas, but you still know that you're not as bad as black people. And it's very interesting dynamic. But I think that one thing about society is they'll always make sure you're anti-black,
Host,
no matter where you go. Because
host, could I ask you
Are
some
you
questions?
sorry? Are you suggesting I'm anti-black? I didn't understand the last bit.
you
Yeah.
are very much anti-black.
I'm not anti-black. I'll be honest with you. I play a lot of cricket, right? And
Okay, let me be
I
honest with
spent
you.
I
I'm
spent I spent a lot
anti-black
of
too.
time. I spent a lot
Oh,
of time
okay.
with
Don't get a little
Caribbean.
loud. Okay, why you
I spent a
yelling?
lot of time with Caribbean community, right? And a
Sir,
lot
that
of
The flip
proximity.
flops I have right on say made in China. I wear them around the house.
I
And
didn't
No
I didn't get.
shade. We're not trying to give you shade. We're trying to give you education, because you can have anti-blackness in you because it's inherent. It's built into the systems of colonialization. Like, you have it, black people have it, everybody and their mama got it. So we're just trying to inform you that consciously and subconsciously people perpetuate
Mm,
it, even though you actually acknowledge the propaganda you consume. You said the media, right? So if the media is perpetuating you to think this about black people, don't you think there could be some inherent anti-blackness in the foundation of where you live and where people are from?
hey, you didn't hear
I,
how you got loud when I was talking?
Yeah.
Um,
Hey.
host, would you mind if I ask you some questions on just?
This isn't an interview for me.
No, no,
It's
it's
mostly an interview.
for the
It's a
Hold on, wait,
discussion
wait. I
though.
think
yeah,
D got to
discussion.
reset, don't she? Holy
Yeah, D
Spirit,
D is
activate.
going to reset,
Okay.
and then I'll go to you.
Thank you, Kay.
Go ahead,
Whenever
sis.
y'all want me to reset, just let me know. All right. So
Yeah.
let's bring in the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Hello, hello, and welcome in, you guys. Welcome in to Brother Legends Live. You are in Brother Legends Live. I'm gonna need you to mute up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, I need you to tap that screen. Tap, tap, tap. Leisha said we're looking at 50K. Come on, you guys. Tap that screen. Tap it out. I need you to share this live. Share with your friends, your frenemies. Even share with your gosh darn enemies. We like to fight. But at the end of the day, I need you to subscribe. Subscribe to Brother Legends Live. Go ahead and subscribe. Tap that screen. Subscribe to Brother Legends Live here and on YouTube. B1 Initiative. Make sure you tune in and check it out on Discord. But at the end of the day, tap that screen. Someone activate the Holy Spirit.
sorry,
Appreciate you,
are
D.
you? Sorry to interrupt. There, are you all Christians?
No.
No.
Good joke.
I said okay.
Okay,
So
can
what religion are you, if you don't mind me asking?
African.
Big African.
Shout out to them Africans.
I don't understand.
Ubuntu.
Hey, somebody knows.
Okay.
Because we are.
Could
Absolutely.
host, could you explain to me the words that are above your head right now in your green screen? Could you explain to me all of your like what your overall motivation is for this live, and what your general like
Uh,
points are? So I just want to catch up, I suppose. I want
you
to know
mean the
what it's
purpose of
about.
the discussion?
Yeah, because I tuned in not too long ago. I just I find you to be quite the way you present yourself seems to be quite intelligent. Um, so
Hmm.
I'd like to listen to what you have to say, but I don't really um, know what you have to say. If you get what I mean.
I can read too, but yeah, it's uh, it's about unity. That's what we're talking about.
Okay,
You have to be very careful. You could very easily be accused of being anti-black.
me.
Newsflash, sir, we're anti-black. That's how I know you goofy. And you came up here and you talked about how you could correlate and you could relate, and we don't have any allies. We know because you quickly try to talk about black men having this thing for YT women and drugs. So don't think we
I
don't
didn't
catch
say that.
shade.
I didn't
We
say
catch
that.
shade.
I, I said black people in America were a lot more educated than the ones in UK. That's how I
But you
started.
cannot.
Bias.
That's a damn
We don't
lie.
take the ass kissing.
That's a
I
We
will.
damn lie.
I
That's a
haven't got
damn lie.
statistics to prove it. I'm pretty sure if I do statistics on it, there's definitely a correlation where black people in America are a lot more educated than black people in UK.
talk about our cousins, okay? Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You
you
see
don't.
where it says, "Can white people be pro-black?" Is
Hey,
that
hey, hey,
do
wait.
you
Who
agree
y'all
with that?
sending them paws to?
Nah, she's sending them balls to
Oh,
I want
him.
to put
okay.
I want to
That's
put
me,
this out
myself, and
there.
I. Listen. I ain't mad at you, me, myself, and I. We gonna get him up out of here. That is wildly offensive. Don't
And
think
it is
that.
very
Don't
wildly
think. Yeah,
offensive.
don't think that I put
No,
that
brother.
any African American is gonna put the American flag before standing up for brothers and sisters in the UK. I don't care just because they have a different accent than me. Those are my cousins. We're not doing that. Appreciate the gifts.
Wait, is y'all sending these gifts to the person underneath me and the
Oh, that
paw?
y'all sent them to him.
Yes, that's what
Oh
I
my,
was
me,
saying.
myself, and I. I
That's what I was
cannot.
saying.
It is what it is. I cannot. Me, myself, and I is a menace with that. But anyway, it's cool.
You know where it says, "Can white people be pro-black?" Do you like what you say yes to that or no to that? Like what's your sense
I'm
of it?
asking you.
You're asking me. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, I think yeah.
Can do you think white people can go to Mars?
Right now,
I think anyone can go to Mars.
That's
That's my
that's
opinion.
yeah. What about Jupiter?
what in the future or what? Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he
What
needs to get
Go
more
to Mars.
Jupiter.
We
what
can.
what what can't they do?
Uh, I
Name one
yeah.
thing white people can't do.
One thing that white people can't do. Well, I mean, it's the same as
Avoid skin
what
cancer.
things that humans can't do. I don't really understand the implication on the race there. I don't.
Well, um, so you're basically saying they can do anything humanly possible.
Yes.
That's interesting. It's a lot of pride you have.
Is there?
Appreciate you, me, myself, and I. Yeah, sounds like pride, man.
Go on. Enlighten me.
Um, because the reason I feel like you
I
answered
think you've
yes to
already
that,
been enlightened.
yeah, I feel like the reason you answered yes to that first question is because anything after the word be was going to get a yes.
Okay.
And part of white privilege is feeling like you can do anything, take part in any culture, do whatever you want. The world is yours, and we all just have to deal with it. I think that
Yeah.
speaks a lot to privilege and entitlement. That's
Well,
literally
no,
what entitlement is.
no,
It
because
is.
no, because I do believe there is a difference between being able to do something and being able to be something. Like, I don't think that white people would be able to be anything they want, and I don't think black people would be able to be anything they want. But I think as a human, we're able to do things that that are humanly possible. I don't think there's a distinction in white and black as in what we can physically do. What we can be,
Where
there
have you
are
been all
All
your
distinctions.
life?
right, all right, all right. So if you feel like the way you
No,
phrased it
no,
was,
for real, host. Where has this motherfucker been all his life? Because anybody
please, you
who,
gotta be careful saying that MF word.
I'm
Please don't
sorry,
say that.
I'm
Please don't say.
sorry, and I'll
Put
be the
F1 in
one.
the
I'll be
comments,
the
yo.
damn martyr because anybody who thinks that black people or Asian people or anybody outside of the white race has not had to suffocate themselves to empower a white man to be the face front.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah,
Come on now, man. That's what you're doing. What you're doing is you're saying that a black man is not capable without the hand of somebody else. That's so
absolutely not. I
stupid.
didn't mention
It's
that at
beyond.
all. No, I didn't say that whatsoever.
So
Like, I didn't even
you're
go
trying to
into
empower
that.
yourself, man, and I love that you want to empower yourself, but don't empower yourself over somebody else because
What ethnicity do you think
everybody
I
has
am?
value.
What ethnicity do you think I am?
I don't know what your ethnicity is. I know what you're saying, and that
Okay.
is what's valuable. What you're using
Okay.
as your verbal
Okay.
communication with people that you're actually talking to, it matters.
Okay. All right.
That's what
You
matters.
said
It doesn't matter
you
what your color is.
okay. I
What
know. I
matters
understand that.
is what you're saying to people.
Yeah, but you said that.
So stop doing that. Don't
Okay.
say what I said. I just called you out on your bullshit.
All
Don't
right.
try to
Yeah.
call me out on
Yeah.
mine.
No, I'm trying to
Fix yours, and then we'll
I'm trying
talk
to
about mine. How
understand.
about
I'm
that?
trying to understand if you meant what you meant to say. You know, because I
Fix
don't.
your inhumanity, and then we'll talk about mine.
Okay. How do I go about doing that?
Fix. Have you fixed your own? That's for you to answer, buddy. It ain't for me to answer. Fix your
What
own humanity.
what is it that you think that
I'm
I
working on mine. Fix
what
yours.
is it that you think that I believe wrong, or what beliefs of mine do you have a problem with?
Did you not hear yourself for the last 2.5 hours?
No, go on. I did, but you say
You did. Then you might want to look at that.
no, because I'm worried about what
Don't look at
you.
mine. Don't look at mine. I'm already looking at mine.
No, I'm not looking at yours.
Look at
I'm
yours.
asking you what problems you have with my beliefs.
I ain't got no problem
I'm
with
not,
you at all. You have problems with you, not me.
okay, can somebody else clarify that for me? Or
Hey man, when y'all start throwing snowballs at each other, I'm gonna just sit back and watch. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
And I love it.
Or
I fucking love it.
All
so
right,
no.
please stop cursing, sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Because I have no idea at all. You know, I don't know if that's the belief of the rest of the panel, that I what
why you trying to
something
drag
that
us
I've
in it?
said.
This y'all business. He's talking
yeah,
about
this
your
ain't got
community.
nothing to do with us. Yeah.
No,
You know
I
what I'm
understand.
saying?
I understand that,
It has
but
absolutely nothing to do with anybody else on the panel. I was just calling you out on some
but
shit you said.
okay.
I
That's
feel
it.
like I feel like you drink tea and he drinks whiskey.
Who's he? Why are you pointing up? Am I on the up?
Yeah, yeah, you're the whiskey guy.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
drink whiskey.
I do drink tea. Yes, yes. Yeah.
And I feel like you both eat green bean casserole.
No,
Two for
I
two?
don't.
Oh, okay. All right. It's okay.
But,
I actually love green bean casserole. What's wrong with you, bro?
Okay. All
okay.
right.
No, but
Being
remember
being
when I
serious,
first
man.
came on?
All I was saying, being serious.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to insult anybody in this room, but I think it's important that we actually talk about what needs to be talked about, right?
Okay.
That's the whole point of it, and
Yeah.
that's what we were doing. Look, I ain't trying to butt hurt you. Don't butt hurt me. You didn't. But just to put it out there, we,
Yeah,
we, we
okay.
we talk, we have these conversations as friends in conversation to make better conversations, right?
All right. Yeah, but I just want to understand what what I could have said
All right,
that was
real quick.
wrong. You know, that
Let me. All right, we got to stop this. This is turning too crazy. All right, so you said there's certain things white people can't be, certain things black people can't be,
yeah.
and that is somewhat a false equivalency because it makes it sound like there are equal things that white people can't be that black people also can't be. But we know that there are way more things white people can be than what black people can be in a white supremacist world. Like in a world where there is white supremacy at the top of the power structure. So,
Well, yeah, okay.
Just
It,
ask
it,
a question.
I
There's
agree
someone
with
that's
you.
just joined.
it,
Oh,
if you
um,
mean like that there's lots of things that people could perceive as being
Mute.
okay, like there's a lot more things for white people that people would perceive as being okay and that people would accept than there are for black people, then I'm sure that's a good rabbit hole to go down. Like I'm sure that could be true, um, but that's not what I was saying. Though I was saying that because I believe in objective reality, so I believe objectively. Um,
objectively, there are
these
things
things-
black people cannot achieve because of a glass ceiling placed above them by white supremacy. For example, there's never been a black man to the moon. White people are indigenous to the moon, I guess, technically. I think the moon's the only place where white
Supposedly.
people are indigenous. Indigenous, yeah. Yeah, that's the only place on Earth where they got, or only place in the galaxy where they went first,
Supposedly.
what about
supposedly.
Sweden and Norway?
Nah, there were black people there first. Then they got lighter and lighter over time as
Because
they began to
where
adapt.
okay, well, but this so do you define black people as just only the skin color then? Like how dark your skin is, that's if you're black or not.
Um, Not just skin color. Melanin is a factor, but also your lineage being traced back to Africa is the next thing.
So then everybody was black.
Was
But y'all make sure y'all ain't now.
Okay, but I don't see what your point is there. I don't.
all right. Just to interject. Being black is based on phenotype currently. Like historically, if you're gonna root it back to the origins of humanity, then yes, I guess technically you would argue that everyone is black. Currently, like every person that studies any sort of race theory or sociology, politics, that being black is based on your phenotype. So I don't really understand what you're saying. Like, what are you confused about?
Me?
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
Yeah,
say
whoever's asking like what being black
I would
is.
say it starts with your phenotype. I wouldn't say basically.
Yeah,
We
I'm
got to be
I'm talking
careful.
about if you root it in the fact that like the division of racial segregation was based
Right,
on your
but we're not
phenotype.
defined by how we're oppressed either. And
I
that's why I'm
agree with
saying be
that.
careful.
I would say that like I agree with the fact that we shouldn't be defined how we're oppressed, but that doesn't say that we aren't defined how we're oppressed.
A lot of
'Cause
us say that because we don't know how to define ourselves.
what do you mean? I would say that like systematically we are defined how we are oppressed basically
Defined by who?
on what do you mean defined by the systems that we are oppressed by?
I think host was talking about when you define yourself.
All right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of black people say this stuff. All right. I don't even want to do that. All right. So let me land with one of them, and then I'm gonna come to you, sister. I appreciate you. I'm gonna come to you in a minute.
Okay.
Um. So, because that's a different conversation. Um. We were at Can White People Be Pro-Black? And Charlie Chaplin down here thinks that white people can be anything the hell they want, including lead our culture and lead
No,
our people to
I
the promised
said
land. Then what the hell does pro-black mean to you, my friend?
okay.
Like,
I'm. We may have different definitions of pro-black because
please
I do
enlighten me,
white people.
because I would never say a black man can be pro-Asian, pro anything else. I would
Oh,
like, please. What the hell is your colonizer definition? Let
I
me
would
know,
say
because colonizers are the only ones that think they can do anything, be a part of any people, and do whatever they want with everybody, and we just got to deal with it. That's the reason why
you
there's
know.
misnomers all over the world. You know, the Ohio Lake means the lake, because white people got here and they asked what the lake was. Oh no, it's Ohio River rather. I think it means river, because they asked the indigenous people what the hell this was, what the hell the name of the river was. They said it's Ohio, and so white people said Ohio River. Like, things like this make no sense. You know, it's that's a colonizer for you.
All right. I would say
Hold
being
on, bro
pro.
said they seen the Grand Canyon and he said this canyon looks grand. Grand Canyon. That's what they named it, bro. This is a Grand Canyon.
Non-bread is another one. It
Yeah,
means
yeah.
bread. Chai tea. It means tea, because colonizers think they can just do wherever they want, be wherever they want, rename it. We're changing the name. We like this better, and it's just ignorant. You know.
Okay.
So
Um,
what is pro-black to you, my
uh,
friend?
to me, I would immediately when I saw that, I would think that being pro something, pro an ethnicity or pro a race. Actually, black's a race in that. So, but pro a race, I would think that means
I think it's the Lake, Ohio. Go ahead.
um,
Go ahead. Give us the answer, man.
yeah. I'm trying to form my sentence. Sorry. Being like rooting for, because if you are a neutral, you can be neutral where you're not actively wanting any race to thrive, right? And then you can be pro white where you want the white race to thrive, and then you can be pro black at the same time, where you can.
Oh man. All right. Let's stop you there. So
That's what I would think.
why do pro-life people eat steak?
Say that again, sorry.
Why do pro-life people eat steak then?
I don't see the relevance to that.
Why do pro-life people eat steak and eggs? They're pro-life, right? So they're rooting for life. Why would they eat death?
Oh, because they're rooting for pro-human life.
Oh, I see. I see. Pro-human life, right? Okay. So that means that if I ask everyone that's pro-life about what's going on in Israel and the Gaza, every one of them should say that we deserve a ceasefire and no more
Well,
war ever. They should also, stand up for, what's
well,
going on there.
I understand
You
what
see
you're
what I'm
trying.
saying?
No, I understand what you're trying to say. It doesn't exactly work because what I would say they would say if they knew the whole situation is that they would go for whatever option would result in the least amount of innocent casualties.
But
Innocent.
is that what pro-life means?
Yeah, I think the
If I
reason.
say I'm pro-life, is that what I mean?
Well, no, it's relating directly to abortion, but the reason that.
Exactly. So you see how context changes things? See how things don't always appear what they seem?
No, I don't.
How how pro-white is aligned with not uplifting white people or rooting for white people. It's
No,
destroying other communities.
no,
People
because
weren't
there's.
pro-white until they were burning crosses and pow-powing up black churches. So that's what pro-white means. It means that we're going to turn your town into a lake, black people. So that's not just rooting for white people. It was anti everyone else. Get off our property, get off our land, yeehaw. That's what that was. Pro life, doesn't mean you're rooting for life. It
Except,
means it means that you are anti-abortion. That's what it means.
right? No.
Pro-black,
It means it
pro-black
means you're
means
pro-life as long as it's your
prioritizing
color.
one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building the black community. So it doesn't just mean woohoo, black people, woohoo, woohoo, we're here, yay, woohoo, I like your music. That's
Okay.
not pro-black.
Okay, well, when you say about pro-life, the thing is though, the reason that doesn't quite follow is because the reason it relates to abortion, it wasn't founded in abortion. Like the cause for pro-life isn't founded in abortion for most people. For most people that are pro-life, it's because of their religious beliefs and their beliefs that human life, specifically human, not animal, that human life is incredibly valuable, right? So human life is incredibly valuable. So then from that,
Name one religion that believes that bullshit,
Hey,
Islam,
please.
hey,
Islam
I,
does.
hey, brother.
unless you're talking about Buddhists, I didn't know there was a bunch of Buddhist people in
Islam,
Texas because Texas is pro-life as
Islam,
hell. So I guess
Islam,
everyone here is Buddhist.
Islam.
Islam, nah, the same Islam that enslaved my ancestors. You talking about the same Islam? What's that scholar Ibn?
Ibn Taymiyyah.
Yeah, are you talking about are you talking about even Ahmed Baba, who outlined the slaveable tribes to the Arabs?
Okay,
You're talking about the
do you
same
want to
Islam.
go on one of these things?
No, but what I'm trying to say is you're getting caught in the metaphor, but you're not seeing the bigger picture.
No, no, not
Pro-life
at all,
means
not at all.
anti-abortion. It don't mean Islam. It don't mean Christianity. It don't mean you care about all life. People that say they're pro-life do not agree with you. They say that they are anti-abortion. They are marching in front of abortion clinics, not in front of bullets in Gaza. All
It
right.
don't
So
mean white.
so
It don't mean black. It don't mean Jewish. It don't mean green. It don't mean red. It means fucking pro-life.
okay.
Okay,
Period.
You gotta stop
when
cursing.
you said
F1,
about
y'all.
because
F1.
All right. He gotta go. He keep cursing.
I think
Um.
it's really important
Yeah.
that you mentioned slavery in the context of Islam because I think you may have some misconceptions about that. I think you may have done your
Oh God,
research.
I'm not about to have this conversation with you. I've had this conversation so many times.
Have you?
Please, you're not going to teach me anything. Islam was definitely used the same way Christianity was to enslave black people. We're not going to get
Black
into this.
people.
We're not, yes, black people in Africa, yes, it was used.
That's
Anti-blackness is deep in that book, and it is also deep in the Arab tradition. We can talk about how there were black people that were able to assimilate into Islam, turn it into a matrilineal system, and use it to as a spiritual system within their own community. However, that agenda that they had, the goal that they had to bring peace to the world, has only been used to further subjugate them on the fact that we have a shared God, so you cannot hate me for what I've done to your people. And I'm not going to get into it. We can get into that another time. You are not a black person. I don't expect you to understand, and I don't expect you to be able to explain pro-black back to me. Can white people explain pro-black to a black person? This guy believes yes. I think that's wild.
Absolutely not.
do you think I'm white then?
You said you was white.
I didn't
Did
actually.
he not?
I could have swore you said you was white.
No, I didn't.
All
What
right,
are
so what are you?
Arab, maybe.
No, I'm not Arab either. I'm Hispanic.
Yeah,
that's
he
not a
white.
race.
I
He
think
white.
you said
You full of
Asian at the
you
beginning,
full of
right? Asian.
shit. That's what you are.
No, no, I'm from my father is
What
from
is your
Mexico.
race? Are you indigenous? Are you YT? What?
What? Sorry, what?
He
No,
white.
what are you? That's the what.
What am I? As in
Who?
race?
Yes, as in race. Y'all get real ditzy when it come to what y'all race is. Y'all know what it is when y'all want some benefits and some privileges.
No, no, I don't. I've never. It doesn't ask me on things what my
Newsflash,
race
brother.
is.
If
It
you go to
asks
the
off
hospital, it asks
ethnicity.
you. If you go to
No,
the
no,
police station, it
it
asks you.
doesn't. It doesn't. It
Yes,
asks
it does.
ethnicity. It asks this. Look, well,
What
in the
is
UK it
your
doesn't. In the
race?
UK it
What's
doesn't.
your race?
What what races can I pick from then? Give me a list.
Indigenous or white? Which one are you?
Which one?
Yeah.
Indigenous or white?
Yes.
Um, what's indigenous then? You're
Only people that don't
He
know what race they are people that are not oppressed based on their race and don't have to think about it.
yeah,
That
I
lets
don't
me
believe I
know
am.
you have enough privilege and entitlement, just like you displayed in your answer to the first question, to let me know that you have razor thin lips and 10 hours in the sun might put you in the hospital. We good.
and lips.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
All right, we done. My goodness. What a live.
You done stole them damn paws.
Listen,
I'm
man.
coming. I was like, wait.
Oh, they was throwing paws up here. I can't look at y'all because y'all gonna have me cracking up in these comments. Y'all gonna have me cracking up. Um, who had next? I think it's Kit Kat. Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
I'm 34, I'm black, and see how are you, Red
All
Legend?
right. I'm well, sister.
And
I'm good.
um, I know I've been up here and answered these questions before, but the last one is new. Does the LGBT movement benefit the black community? So I can't readily think of how it would benefit the black community. I would say no if I had to just like answer right now, but I wanted to know
They say you low, Kit Kat.
your thoughts were on that one, or the panel's thoughts. Oh, you guys can't hear me at all? I'm
They
Can
say
muffled.
y'all hear her? I can
they
hear
say you
her.
hear, but she low.
Mute and unmute real quick.
Is it better? Okay.
Is it better, y'all? Oh, you muffled. You ain't say she low. She muffled. Yeah. All right, you good, sister?
Okay. I'm sorry, my bad, you guys. I don't know why. Okay. So I either your
Oh, your
thoughts
signal
on that
crazy.
or the panel's thoughts on that. I really don't even know
It's
if I'm a part of the LGBT community. Even with that being said, right is low as heck. Hold on.
it's just glitchy. You got a bad reception, sister. She's asking our thoughts on the last question. I think. Um,
Yeah, I
you
was.
kind of
I turned off the
yeah.
Wi-Fi. Is this any better?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's much better.
Sounds better.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they act
So
like I don't pay way too much for my Wi-Fi. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh, hey, this is a little trick for y'all. If you ever like, you could take a speed test for your Wi-Fi, and if it's lower than the speed you pay for, you can call them up and act like a Karen, and they'll speed up your Wi-Fi. They'll
Really?
actually do it. Yeah, they split it with your neighbor when you don't notice that, and then if you call them up and just don't let go, they'll speed it back up. But anyway,
Interesting. Thank
yeah, yeah, me and
you.
my wife be doing that. Sometimes y'all gotta put on your Karen voice. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Either that or get buck with them. You know, you go one route or the other. Some of the sisters know how to do it. You know, me, I can't get buck because I'm scared. They call the cops over the phone. But
Yeah, you know you gotta do it just right because they be
yeah,
acting out.
yeah,
Uh,
I go
Also, if
Tom
y'all ever get a
Cruise.
product
Uh,
that's like messed up, don't take it back to the store. Call the people who manufacture it, and they will send you coupons in the mail to get whatever you have for free. Whole new bag. Plates. I count my plates because sometimes it don't be 80 or 100 plates in that bag, and I'll be like, wait a minute. Y'all
mm,
machine off track. I'm gonna need a coupon or two for some new plates for the ones I just had. Cause plates is
mm,
expensive. Toilet paper,
mm.
all of it. If it got a defect, that mean I'm for to get some respect. New coupon me, please. Like
Boy is a
I
fool.
never even thought about
hey,
calling it
I'm so serious. They scamming us. Why is it that I go to the grocery store in a nice side of the neighborhood and the food is cheaper? Like like we are paying for the rich people stuff, electricity and all, for real. Y'all better stop it. Y'all better count them plates. Look.
I ain't never count plates, but you probably right. I
I'm
ain't never
about to
even think of
say,
that.
I'm gonna just
All
say
right.
I did because I don't got time for that.
Yeah, right. We just gonna say we. But all right. So the last one, it's yes or no, depending on how you answer the question. To be honest, that's how most of these questions are set up. To be honest, I mean, except for the first one. Except for the first one, the second one could be yes or no. Some people define black feminism and womanism as the same thing. So if someone comes up here and says yes to the second question, but they mention womanism, then I'm like, okay, I can rock with that. They say no. I mean, if they say yeah, it just depends. It depends. But
Mm-hmm.
the last one, the way it was originally intended, the LGBT movement, meaning as a political organization, political movement, do they benefit the black community, not the people that identify? I would also question that, but the whole overall thesis is one that says LGBT is a Eurocentric identity, not a Eurocentric behavior or practice or preference, but it is a Eurocentric identity. So when you identify based on that behavior, practice, and such and so on, but we could still argue it was beneficial to a degree because it gave us intersectionality. So, that at a time when it was needed, it shouldn't have been needed, but it was needed post colonization, and that's the reason that when people come up, I ask their pronouns. However, the movement itself has turned its back on black people even within that intersection. So I still can't say it was beneficial to the black community. I feel like we could have taken better care of ourselves and just remained black. Uh, we didn't have to take on another identity for that. We could have just treated each other better. Um, and I try to,
Well,
hold us accountable for that.
okay, I see what you're saying. So you feel like we should just have been able to just be in our blackness, regardless of who or whatever we were in love with? Are you
Um,
saying?
yeah, and well, yeah, and basically it's just to highlight that the identity, the flag, things like that, form an identity. The example I give is if we all started to identify by how we ate breakfast, would it work to unify us or would it divide us further? If I said I
Mhm.
ate pancakes, you ate waffles, I'm a pancakeist. I'm a pancake sexual, and you're a
A waffleist,
waffleist.
apparently.
Right? You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now we're two different things. When all this time we could have just been black, and I could have not persecuted you for your choice and treated you better.
Yeah.
However, so, but in a sense, someone saying I get treated differently because of my waffleness in the community, that does bring about this conversation. Even so, I can't be mad at where it started, but it started with black people. We started that movement for that
Mhm.
reason. So you see, it
Right.
started with us. It's just now that it's turned into this whole identity thing, some of us are being used to fight for the identities of our oppressors. And how can something
Right.
benefit you and your oppressor at the same time? So, me, I say up here, I'm not pro feminist, I'm pro black women, I'm not pro LGBT, I'm pro black LGBT, if, or, people that are, out outside of cis het, like, um, as long as you black, you cool with me, and that's who I'm gonna talk to. You know.
Right. That's crazy because I didn't expect any of that explanation that you just gave. I agree with it on all levels. And I feel like the most important part of what you said, because the only argument to be had was just like the accountability of our community or the people in our community that did or do make it difficult, right? Or make you have to identify or make treat people differently. And like you addressed that too. I
Yeah.
feel like it was like it's kind of like a group effort because yeah, if it wasn't necessary, gladly letting that go. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be a thing. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough.
All right, can I pause for the cause?
All right. Yes, please.
All right, so let me get my voice together. I'm losing it. Hello, I want to speak to you guys. Let's have a conversation. Can someone mute? I'm getting an echo. All right, let's have a conversation, you guys. We need 75K here, and we're at 61. Tap the damn screen. Tap, tap, tap to 75. We need 75K, you guys. Tap that screen. Again, welcome in. You are in Brother Legends Live.
Man, people keep coming up here talking. Appreciate you, D. We talking about a lot of intersectional things. It's a very nuanced conversation. Please don't come up here if you don't have a. Don't come up here with your axe. You gotta come up here with a scalpel, y'all. Leave your axe at home. Um, please be selective with your vocabulary. Um, I'm gonna go to the next guest. So Sen, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
Yeah, I'm 18. I'm black, and I go by he, him.
All right, what's going on?
So the first one, can a white person be pro-black? I believe so, but not when you're focusing on black people, because I feel like a lot of white people try so hard to be like, oh, Black Lives Matter, I care so much about you guys, and it comes off as like white guilt. Like they don't actually care. I think if a person sees every race as a human being, you automatically are pro-black, you're pro-Hispanic, you're pro-Asian, you're pro-human. You care about black people. I mean, it's that simple, really. Like, I'm not pro-black just because I'm black. I'm pro-black because I see other people as humans. You know what I mean? So I think you shouldn't have to think about it in order to be pro-black. You just are. So
That's a very touching argument. I would say that you can't be pro everybody because there's going to be times at which there's a conflict of interest in the best needs of black people and their oppressors. There's going to be a conflict of interest. There's going to be a time where what's best for us is not going to be best for an Asian community, a Latin or indigenous community. There's going to be times where it's not going to work out well for them, but it's in our best interest. So,
I understand exactly what you mean,
yeah.
but this is my view. I could be pro-Jewish people and also be pro people from Palestine and say, hey, free Palestine. That doesn't mean I'm not pro Jewish people anymore, right? So like, you can support people and still. I feel like people try to be like call themselves a centrist, as in I never said Jewish was a race. I'm just saying. But moving on.
So, okay, so let's do this. So, you're telling us that you can be pro slavery while being
No,
pro free black people.
yeah, I never said that.
That's what you're saying.
Not really.
That's what you're saying.
I'm
Slavery
not
is in
though.
the best interests of white people,
My whole point was that you can see all people as human beings, and therefore you are pro-human,
but that would just make
pro-black.
you pro-human. Yeah, if you want to be pro-human, that's what we call a humanitarian. That's not pro-black.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you're pro-Asian?
No,
What are you pro other than black when it comes to humans?
African.
Okay, and let's say you're pro-African, right? Let's say you're pro-African. There's
Mm-hmm.
two countries in Africa, right? And they're going to war. One of them are oppressing the other, and the other is just a victim. You're still
Mm-hmm.
pro-Africans, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you can support one that in this situation is a victim. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean you're not pro-African anymore since you're against the other country at this point in time. So in
That's
general, you can be pro both of them, but when it comes to a point where
That's
one is getting
xenophobia.
oppressed,
So you have this thing where you have a trope for your massa, and it's showing. But let me tell
what?
you something. You heard me. I don't know what cave coochie you done climbed into. They got you thinking that pro-black can be anybody when you already have a society that already demonizes you for being black and is anti-black or racist as hell. So I hate when y'all do these whataboutisms and these scenarios when we're dealing with real reality. I'm gonna
that
shut up.
whataboutism
Hold on, that
was a false equivalency because the oppressor in that scenario where there was a marginalized African group and an oppressive African group, would the oppressor wouldn't be pro themselves, they'd be anti that group that they were oppressing.
Yeah,
So
my point is you can still support the regular civilians in that country and not the government and military that are oppressing the people in the other country. So you can support.
no, but that's the thing. I can, as a pro-African, want there to be peace in Africa, and that means that I would be pro the people that are fighting. I mean, pro the people that are fighting for their freedom. The African country that is oppressing the other people are working on the behalf of colonizers. If you're in reality, I mean, that's that's how fighting happens on the African continent. Whether you're talking about the Congo, Sudan, Libya, whatever's going on, they're doing it because someone else interfered with Africa, and then they're oppressing their own people. So when I say I'm pro-African, I mean I'm pro-peace in Africa, but I'm definitely
Mhm.
going to side against those that are acting on the best interests of
Yo,
non-Africans.
why am I getting attacked in the comments, man? Like, damn.
I think your heart is in the right place, but you sound like Miles Morales, and
Right. I mean, look, you could at the very at the most you can call me uneducated, right? Like, I'm not gonna get mad about that if you say, you know what you said is
nah,
not the most educated thing.
it's
But like all
just
these insults, it's
when I
like,
was
dang.
18. Nah, don't start reading the comments, man. But when I was your age, I would have felt the same way. So I can't. That's why I'm like, you just got some reading, but it's
I mean,
cool.
I ain't come up here
Let
to
me
like
define.
debate
Let
you,
me.
right? Like, so it says
Nah,
discussion. And I'm not trying to debate you and say that you're
I don't.
wrong.
I don't feel that way at all. But pro-black defined by pro-black scholars, Afrocentrists, since the 60s. It's actually since before that. Marcus Garvey, The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, written by his wife, by the way, um, is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building the black community. Priority, one's actions and values with what's in the best interest above all other groups, above all other interests, above self interest of building the black community. Building. So it's an action word, building. So when you say you're pro black, that means you're telling me it's possible for white people to wake up every day with black people on their mind, prioritize their actions and their values against their own self interest and the interests of the community that oppress black people based on race, because that's the thing. White is not a neutral term. White is a violent term. White is a classification built in a power structure to subjugate black people. That's why they made it. So there's never going to be a time when white is just regular old folks, just regular old people. No, this is them telling you that they're superior. So you're telling me that they're going to work in our best interests and then come and build a black community while being non-black. Can I build a brick house with wood, or
Nah,
do I need bricks to do that?
I see your point. I say it's not realistic for the average white person to wake up every day and say, I'm going to help black people. It's possible, but not realistic at all. So I do get your point.
And
I, I
as
was
a
gonna
black
say
man married
I
to a black woman, I can do that easily. I'm gonna let you go, okay? But I can easily do that, right?
okay.
I could wake up and say, I'm gonna intentionally build my family, make sure I pass down some generational wealth, have a plan for my children. A lot of black people, we wasn't raised right. And it's a part of a multi-generational trauma from slavery, but it's a whole thing we can get into. But a lot of us don't have a plan for our children. We just think we're gonna feed our kids till they grow tall enough, 18 years old, kick them out the house. They're just gonna figure out their life. I'm not talking about a plan like telling them what type of job they're supposed to have, but have a plan to give them the tools they need to survive. Give them the tools that they can choose what kind of life they want to live, but they got the tools that when they choose that, they can do what they have to do. So that's when you that's a very pro-black thing to do. And it don't take you going outside marching and all this other stuff. You could do that right in your home. You could just start that at home, and then teaching them about their history, learning yourself about where you come from, your people, your history, reconnecting with African brothers and sisters. Go buy you some land in Africa. They giving it out over there to African Americans. They will pay you to come to Ghana. Isn't that crazy? They'll give you money. So what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We could really start to reconnect and mend what was broken. So that being the case, that's what I'm saying. Like you can you can be pro black. It's very easy for us to do it. They not gonna do all that with us. Go ahead, Kay.
I was gonna say too, though. I just think it's hard to conceptualize a lot of this stuff even when you're 18, because I think you're just getting some things confused. Like your heart, it is you got a big one. It's in the right place because I mean, in truth, in totality, white people can be anti-racist, but they're creating a resolution for something they created. And is there good white people out there? It don't matter because guess what? They have the right and the have to still provide and call out and be for their people. You see what I'm saying? They have the obligation to be pro-white. And it's just, I know that sounds even crazy in itself, but that's the truth because they have to be for their privilege. Like at the end of the day, are they gonna, when we're standing toe to toe and it's us against them, who are they really gonna be with? It's not us. They're not gonna pick like, hey, let me pick with they side, like let me be with them because you right, what we did is wrong. Like, no, they have the obligation to be for their people. And I also want you to think about it, brother. Like, think about the term pro-black. Who had to coin that and why did they have to do it?
Hey, brother, can
Like
you speak on the
with Huey
topic?
P. Newton making that, what?
Hey, honestly, I got.
Mute up, sir.
I'm just saying that like no other group in the way that we have to do has to be pro anything. We are the people that have to be in the forefront of being pro black because the system of race was made for us to be held back. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no other system. Other people want to assimilate. They want to be in colonization. They want to have close proximity to YT. And it's not all of them because they're fighting against that system too. But again, in the reality of things, the system of racism was made specifically for us. It was made to hold us back. That we see other people in other minority groups rising above us, and we've been here for how long? How long, brother? That's what I'm saying. So even in the system of allies, we got to keep a realistic mindset. I want to love people and admire them for being human and who they are, but the reality is they have the obligation for their own race. And the system of race was made to put us back. They are benefiting off of our backs. The people who fill up the prisons, the people who are unalived at childbirth, the people who have kids in poverty to keep this system going is us because they put that on us. Like there's no system where they say, well, these white T people are being pro black. I want to see the laws where these pro black white people have done for us. I see no laws or systems or structures that actually benefit us. So if there are pro black white people, they can keep it. Because again, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're still gonna be white and you're still gonna go for your privilege. So it's just the sad reality.
Yeah, I understand what both of y'all are saying. You did say, oh, you're 18, but that's on me for not being educated and studying. So
No, I
No,
said
no,
if
no.
I
I'm
were
not saying no.
18,
It's just
He went to
oh,
the same
yeah.
I was
I was
saying
saying it was
I was
hard
saying
to
when I was
conceptualize.
18,
oh
yeah,
yeah, I'm just saying
yeah,
like I don't want to use that as an excuse to be uneducated. Like I definitely want to
yeah.
study more and research more and know more things about our race and even people in Africa and
You
how
want,
like you
can I
mentioned how
start you
wars go
off?
on in Africa. I didn't even know that. I didn't even you know what I mean. So there's definitely more for me to learn as time goes on and at this very moment.
Hmm.
So
Let
yeah, I mean,
me
like I
give
said, I
you
He
wasn't trying
finna
to
give you
like.
resources.
some books though. Listen, he finna give you some books.
Yeah. Can you write these down or something? There's you can YouTube them if you don't read much. Like you
I mean,
just
no, I read a lot. I read a lot.
if yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like me, I'm not really a reader. I'll put the audio book on, take a shower, come out wise as hell, telling my wife what I just learned. Like that's me. Dr. Chancellor Williams has a book called The Destruction of Black Civilization. That's a good place to start, my brother. That's a good place to start. You're gonna understand a lot more about our people just by that book alone. If you want to understand more about racism, I would tell you to YouTube Dr. Frances Cress Welsing,
Hmm.
Welsing, Dr. Welsing. She has a lecture from 2010 that breaks it down nicely. She's teaching about the real cause behind racism, and she's a clinical psychologist, and she basically studied, the type of psychology where children draw like a picture, like child psychology, where um, uh, if you ask a child to draw a picture, they'll tell you what's on their mind, and it'll be subconscious though. So it'll draw like a dinosaur eating mommy, and really
Hmm.
what the child is trying to say is, dad is real mean to mom, but he made a dinosaur. So she takes that logic and applies it to what we see in our society as it is anti-black, and she's able to come to some very startling conclusions that are now being proven by the same American Psychological Association. They're actually verifying she was not capping. And
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
I'll
definitely
leave
look
it
into
there.
that.
Yeah. If you need any other
Also, the
resources,
ISIS papers.
yeah, the ISIS
The
papers.
ISIS
That's her
papers
book.
by
That's her
Dr.
book.
Francis Chris.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
her
look that
book.
up too.
Yeah.
You
So
want me to
if you,
answer the second one, or you can go to somebody else if you want to.
yeah, I do gotta go to someone else because it's been a while.
All
But
right, yeah, I'm in my mind.
yeah, I'll give you another chance. And if you need any other resources, please feel free to let me know. Cause brothers like yourself is who I make this live for. Um, I don't, I wish somebody. I did have someone to tell me when I was young. I wasn't listening. So you're doing better than me already.
Some of them putting books in the chat. Okay.
I was listening to Jay Z. He told me be a hustler. He said that's what makes you a man.
9.99.
Yeah. All right, y'all. The next guest is Good Ella. Give us your age, race, and pronouns. I thought we had someone else up here, but
Hi, yeah, I think it was. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, it was someone before me. I was kind of surprised I came up so quick.
Hmm.
Ages, I'm an elder, respectfully.
Okay. Hmm.
What were the other two questions?
I think you answered the race question with elder. Did you? Are you a
Oh,
black
okay.
elder?
Yeah, I am black.
Okay. Respect.
Yeah.
And
She, her.
all right. Excuse me.
Okay.
Talk to us.
Okay, can white people be pro-black? I don't believe you can be anything that you can't define, promote, or appeal to other people to join.
Hmm.
And I think I want to put the two next questions together.
Hmm.
Does feminism benefit the Black community? Does the LGBT movement benefit the community, our community? Um, I think that both communities came for our rights, the civil rights movement. I think that they used us to promote their agenda, and then it turned out being a benefit for only YT people.
Hmm.
That's how I feel about both communities.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, they both ended up fulfilling the agenda of the dominant group. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. My issue with both movements
Hmm.
is primarily rooted in assimilation.
Yeah.
Just like Martin Luther King at one point was focused on integrating us into a burning building. Feminism is not about fighting for equality to black men. I don't see anyone saying we want to be treated like black men do. Yes, equality for black. I don't see anyone out there wanting to be an N word. They don't want to be
Because
us.
it would sound
So
ridiculous to
right.
everyone.
So who is the feminist ideal of power that they're seeking to be equal to so bad? And
Right.
then LGBT movement as well. Fighting over, um, you know, uh, even marriage. I feel like, that yeah, like there could have been, marriage practices,
Hmm.
and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, you're fighting to take part in the system as opposed to, and that's the problem when it comes to black people is now you're fighting to be able to take part in a system that was not built to include you in the first place. Like,
Right.
so as opposed to us coming together as black people and creating
Hmm.
our own definitions, our own systems of who we are. I mean, going back to, our ancestral ways, like we're Africans, we black people first. So
Right.
instead of doing that, it's telling us that, we need to fight to be equal to the oppressor. And
Yeah.
that's all that they want, because they're part of these intersections too, you know.
Yes,
So,
exactly. I am a social worker by trade. I'm a social worker and a counselor. And a lot of times, and by the way, I'm in California, so I work with a lot of Hispanic people,
hmm
probably sometimes more than my own people. And a lot of times I see how well, and all of us see, and we know how we're divided by races, especially when they're incarcerated, I would say. But so many times when I'm counseling and talking to Hispanic people about Black people, I put us in the same category. And even though,
Just because we're people. We're just people.
well, and
hold on,
because,
Mike.
You
Hold
can
on,
go
Mike.
on mute. That's what you can do, Mike. Mute up.
and well, mostly because we're
I'm
people
trying
of
to, ma'am, hold
color.
on 1 second, Miss Ella,
Oh,
respectfully.
okay.
Mike, you can mute up because you're going to respect her while she's speaking. So you can mute up or you can
It was
drop.
the first time I ever spoke. What do you
You
mean?
can mute up or you can drop.
Everyone else is muted, Mike.
I just commented.
Don't be that guy.
I'm not that guy at anything. You guys
Yeah.
continue. I
That mute
didn't
is
want
jumping out of
anything
you
to be
now, you
said.
damn demon.
Bye. All right. Go ahead, sister.
Mhm. Sorry. Um, but and definitely it's because we're people of color, both. But it is disheartening for me because I see what all of us are going through, and there's such a divide. And I'm not even just saying with them siding with white tea people, I even see some of my people siding. And when I say siding, feeling that some of our complaints or how we've been treated maybe isn't as bad as we think. And believe it or not, it happens a lot when I talk to our people also. But what's so disheartening is that we're so divided, and there's such a horrible system that keeps us divided, where honestly we should be on the same team.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, when it comes to outside groups showing support, I feel like anti-racism is a good goal with that because that's
Yeah.
how they're oppressed as well.
Mhm.
Anti-colonialism as well. Um, when it comes to
Mhm.
being pro-black, we also understand that we're not going to have any allies in that area because the only way to build a black community is with black people. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
no one else is going to have allegiance to us like we do. But
Like we
sometimes we
do to
betray
ourselves.
us. Yeah, we betray our own best interests. Dr. Neely Fuller talks about this, and I've said it a few times today. So people in the comments might be sick of it, but I'll say it again. Um, we're like a fish born in water, and we don't know
Hmm.
water is wet. So That means that
Mhm.
Mike, who was just up here, when we told him, if we had actually got him to talk, he probably would have been racist, and we had tell him about himself, he probably would have denied it because he's used to
Mhm.
being in water. He's like, what racism? I don't see racism anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
and
so
so sometimes
ridiculous.
black people are the same way because we born in it.
Hmm.
So we like, what racism? I'm Michael Jordan. I'm OJ.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I agree.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you.
75K. Tap the screen, y'all.
Tap the screen. Tap the screen. It's a chill night tonight, but we ain't mad at you. Appreciate y'all for coming through. And shout out to Auntie that just left.
Ella.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah, she did an amazing job, and I cannot have y'all up here disrespecting the elders. It really makes my hair stand up in the back of my neck as somebody who's re-Africanized his spiritual beliefs and went back to the way our ancestors practiced our family values. We gotta give the elders room to speak, listen to them when they speak. So we're not doing that.
I loved her
Especially,
wording though. She worded in a
yeah,
particular way.
absolutely. Samaya, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
I'm 32. I'm white British, and I'm she, her.
All right, thank you. Talk to us.
Um, I just want this feminism benefits the black community. Yeah. I'm not sure about if it benefits the black community, but I definitely don't think it benefits any community.
I'm
Um,
sorry, you sound very muffled, like your phone is underwater.
oh, sorry. Is that any better?
Much better.
Um, where it says, does feminism benefit the black community? And does LGBT movement benefit the black community? Um, Obviously, I can't speak on behalf of the black community, but I personally don't think it has any benefit for any community. Um, yeah, I think these are just things that, yeah, don't benefit any community.
Okay, didn't you say you was a white woman?
Yeah.
Didn't feminism give you the right to vote?
I personally have never voted before. Um, so I mean, most probably did, yeah, most probably did.
Feminism also gave you the right to work and own property.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose, yeah, that's great and all that, but I just think, um, I think, that, yeah, women empowerment, I'm all for. Yeah, I think that's great, but the way feminism, in my eyes, is nowadays, it's like a toxic kind of thing. It completely takes the man away from being a man, and there's just women out, or what I think when behind the word feminism. Yeah, it's just
So you're saying the man, when you say the man, do you mean black men?
not just men in general. Yeah, just men in general. Because, like I said,
How does it take them away from being men?
well, again, this is just my opinion, just my own views, but like I can, if you've got, if for example, if there's a man and a woman and they're married, they're living at home, and your husband is going to work and coming home, and I don't know, the woman's too busy doing her own thing and going to work and wanting to be better than the husband, and which is great. Some people, yep, that's great. Yep, I'm all for that. But I'm maybe a bit old fashioned. I think, men are great workers, and, women are great homemakers, and that's just my opinion.
Hold on, how old fashioned are you? Cause what part of the old and fashioned are you addressing?
You got
Cause
buckles on
y'all,
your
I mean,
shoes?
why? Like, I'm like, yeah. Cause did Plymouth Rock land on us, or we landed on Plymouth Rock?
We
Cause
have to think.
I'm
Hold
just
on. Let
trying
me
to understand.
hold on.
Like,
Kay, let me
go
say
ahead, D. Go
this.
ahead.
Let me say this. See,
I'm
this,
sorry. Sorry.
everybody that's in the chat, this is the privilege that we speak of because it's the comfort of not voting and not having to do anything, and the world will still move with you and for your comforts. This is the privilege
Oh,
of saying, I don't have to vote. I don't care about feminists or whatever the fight is because I benefit from either or. It'll work out for me either way. This is the privilege that all the YT people say they don't have, especially when it comes to YT women. Because in society, if you're a black woman doesn't vote, her life is in jeopardy. How we choose to move strongly affects our livelihood
I
for
mean, I
black
would
people
love
in
to
general.
vote, but I don't think
Ma'am,
I
ma'am, ma'am,
don't think
ma'am.
vote.
But
I
understand,
don't
I'm
think
not even
they
talking.
listen to us.
Hold on, just hold on. I'm talking to the audience because it's important that they heard what you said. And I would never in the day hear a black woman say, I don't vote. It don't matter. That just impossible.
No, of course it matters to me what happens, but I think there's the government has a set way, and regardless what like us normal people want, there's always an end which is already somewhat written. That again, that's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, I would love to vote, but I don't think I think
I
that
would say black
there's
women's
gonna
vote don't
be.
matter, but I get what you're saying, D. Um, I would say, that you preferring patriarchy um is not a flex. So,
What does that mean? Sorry, I don't. What does that mean? Sorry.
men working. You brought up men working as if
Uh huh.
that makes them a man. You said it takes like,
Oh no, that was just an example that I use. Like, I mean,
yeah. But my question was about when you said it takes them away from being a man. I'm asking how, and you brought up work. So men working is patriarchy. That's like if you're saying they have to work because they're a man, and that's what makes them a man, then that is patriarchy. Because that says that men control the funds in the home. So that's
I
giving a
mean,
man control. There's no way you're gonna have a world where a man works and makes most of the money and doesn't have the control. So
no, I mean, I would expect in the home, obviously, both each other have as much control over everything as each other, but they've just got their own roles, kind of.
either way,
Um,
feminism gave you the right to vote, the right to own property, and the right to work. So
but
I'm
again,
still having a
yes,
hard time
you
understanding.
mentioned owning property, like even owning property is a it's like a great thing. Like, again, me personally, I would not buy a house.
Right, that's patriarchy. That's literally patriarchy. That's literally saying I prefer that white men be in charge of the world again. And that's
No,
cool.
no, it's
No,
the
that's what
complete
it is
opposite,
what you're
if I'm
saying. No,
honest.
it's not the opposite.
Oh no, please just hear me
What you're
out.
saying is you want to go back to the days before feminism when women couldn't work, couldn't own
No, no,
property.
absolutely not. No,
But you're
it's
saying it's
again.
okay though. So
No, please just hear me out. Of course, again, I would love to buy a house. I would love to own my own home and, have my own property and land. Yeah, why not? I'm sure everybody would love that. But again, just my own views and my own opinion is I wouldn't trust all of my money in a property, especially now recently. All banks are closing. God knows what would happen. It's like you get into a contract with a mortgage and then God knows what could happen afterwards. That's the only reason. I would absolutely love to buy my own property. Do I think it would be my property for the next 20 years? Most probably not. Somehow the government, I think, would get over it, get hold of it, or
You know, if I died and then passed it on to my kids, they'd get a big, huge tax bill, and so just for that reason, again, yeah, they're just my.
Generational wealth ain't a thing.
I mean, you just justified it. You didn't say that you were. Uh,
No, I've got.
I know what
Well,
it is with y'all. It's this thing where you need to feel like you're good in everyone's eyes more than you can use critical thinking to see that I just basically summed up what you just said. Now you're giving me reasons why you said what you just said. You're not correcting me. You're not saying you feel any differently. You're just saying the reason I feel this way is because the government might take my house. So I'd prefer, you know, that we didn't have to own things because it's not such a good idea in the first place.
It's very
And
well passed down through those things.
you see what I'm saying? So she prefers patriarchy. She just has a very vegan way of getting there.
no,
And it's
I,
like
I just think this word, I'm not used to. I think this might be more of an American word. I'm just
it's
not.
not. It's in English.
I've just don't. I don't hear this word, so I don't.
What
I'm
word
not
don't you understand?
the patriarchy.
Okay, so do you understand dollars and cents?
Yeah, like money.
So pounds, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
pound
have to spend it
for.
every day, right?
Yeah,
You got to eat every day, right?
yeah,
You need somewhere to live so you can shit every day, right?
yeah.
So then why wouldn't you buy a house? The conversation that brother is giving you is very simple. It's the fact that in so many ways in society you are allowed to be lazy, and that's what you want, and that's very much cradled by patriarchy.
No, so okay, so
Yes, it is.
I know she
so
was
let me
trying.
say
Please go
let
on
me
mute.
say it a different way. These thoughts of mine, like not buying a home and these kind of things. I mean, first things first, I'm not even in the position to bloody buy a home at the minute. But if I was, um, these more have come since the whole. I don't know if I can even say it. The whole pandemic thing, a lot of things have changed since then. And like, I don't know how it is over in America, but over in the UK, it's a very clear thing that money, it's not going to be a thing much longer. It's all going to be, I don't know how it'll be, like money online, whatever it is. So, and then, that kind of thing, we're going to have
Okay,
we're
so
all
let's do
going to
this
have no
party. So do you
choice.
remember when at a time back in the day or the good old days when you could just sit at the house and your husband take care of everything? You
I
remember that?
mean, I mean, yeah.
Did your grandma have that, or you mean mom?
I mean, no, my grandma worked, but yeah, she could have
So,
paid it.
so when you said that and you asked brother and he referenced it to patriarchy, that was the patriarchy. You're looking for a level of comfort that I get to call lazy because my grandparents, my grandmother, my great great, they didn't sit down. So in this conversation, you're saying that if feminism made men less of men, then what is a man?
So, so are you guys pro feminism then? I take it. Sorry,
Let it go, brother. Send the pause.
like,
Make sure you send the brother though.
We're
like,
pro feminism. We're pro. I was about to say we're pro feminism for you, but we're not. Honestly,
and just to put it out there, I'm
actually,
just
yeah, we are. We are. We are. We are a
somebody
little
who's
bit
never
because it kind of
experienced
doesn't
life.
matter. It doesn't matter if the people on top is a man or a woman. We still black, so it really don't matter. But you know, go ahead and fight with your men. So
And just to put it out, like I'm a very simple, but I've not experienced life, So I'm just going from a very, like, you could say, a narrow-minded vision of my own little life. So, if there's anything out there that I could learn, or that's fine. But that's just my views anyway.
I think you get narrow minded mixed up with the word privilege because You are privileged to not think and want to go back to the life you had before. But see, in black feminism, something you'll never know nothing about, we working to sit down. We working to be able to chill out for a minute. Y'all was working to work, like fighting to work. Like even the right to vote. We vote out of consequence. Y'all vote out of benefit. I'm gonna get something out of this deal
Mm-hmm.
when I vote, but I
Roe
vote
versus
because I'm
Wade.
afraid
Yeah,
of who
but
coming into power.
do you not think that that's something that's been put in, like, made to happen? Like, I believe
Roe
like,
versus Wade.
the whole thing that I say about the government, like, that's like my vision. They purposely try, and separate us and put a white tie and anything that if you're not white, then you're not the same. It's like, is that not? Do you guys not
Yeah,
think
that's
that is
I don't know
something?
what
exactly.
she's talking about.
That's what y'all said. That's what your ancestors said. If it ain't white tea, it ain't right tea. Okay, you feel me? Like that's what y'all
Yeah, but
came
is
up with.
that not
Yeah.
something that,
But
if
you're co-signing it. You're talking about it doesn't let men be men when I have to
Hashtag
go out here and
unwrap
get a
contract,
job. What?
brother. You're rhyming.
Like, bruh. Nah, look,
no, that's just my own
look,
personal
Umar,
opinion.
look. That's how you can get it to
Bars.
stick in their brain. You gotta rhyme it.
Yeah, that's
Bars.
right. Yeah, that's the African way. Um, do we have any feminist allies want to come up here and talk to your grandmother?
I just wanted to say, like, I don't, I didn't have to get a job. I love what I do. It's my passion. I chose something as a career that makes me excited to wake up in the morning, and I'm glad to do it. Like, I don't want to I, especially as someone who doesn't want to procreate, I think that there are other things for men and women to accomplish and do, especially when it comes to a world that's so broken. And we should fight and do things and put work into this world to make it a better place, especially when so many people's goals is to just procreate and live.
I think you took it somewhere else, Bree, but
But
we
please,
hear you.
can I just answer one thing to that, please?
Uh huh.
Um, like, again, I totally agree with what she just said. Great, great. However, you are doing your life, but when you said everybody should be able to do what they want, my point is, how can anybody do what they want if based upon your color is there's a limit on what you can do? That's is that's my opinion, which has been put there for many years. I don't know, maybe by the government.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
saying that it's definitely there's racial bias when it comes to what you can and can't do. I've I've dealt with extreme bias for being a black woman in the field that I am in, but I'm just saying that it doesn't make me any more of a woman or a man to, because that's the thing you said earlier, right? Like, that you're less of a man if you don't want to work. There are lots of people with lots of passions who enjoy what they do, but maybe not.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna move on. Samaya, do you want to answer the last question?
Really, brother. Torture.
About the LGBT. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you did, if you did like my feminism comment, oh, you was gonna hate me for the LGBT comment. So, I really don't want to offend anybody. But
All right. When
do I
you eat
think?
a Snickers bar, do you feel like you're in an interracial relationship?
What?
Never mind. All right, y'all. Let's go to the next guest. Um, Al next door, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Hey everybody, I am 28 years old. I'm sorry. English is not my first language. I'm black and I prefer she and her.
All right, talk to us.
I don't think that white people can be pro-black because I believe they can be allies, but pro-black means living what you preach, in my opinion. And being born white means profiting from the racist system and profiting from the privileges if they want it or not and if they admit it or not. So how can you be pro-black but profit from a racist society? To the feminism part, I don't think that profits black community in any way, shape or form too, because with feminism women got the right to vote, for example, or the right to get a job, but a black woman still doesn't earn as much or still doesn't get the same job opportunities as a white woman does. So what does it help the black community? And what was the last one? The
Does the
LGBTQ.
LGBT movement benefit the black community?
Yeah. No, no, I think the LGBTQ movement benefits itself, just as the feminism movement benefits itself, but it doesn't do anything particularly for the black community. So how, in what form should it benefit the black community?
I ain't mad. I think honestly, she might have been the first one to come up here and not make me mad today.
Thank
My
you.
goodness, thank you.
Thank you.
Um, that was quite a word. We didn't even really have to expound much, unless somebody want to say something. I know Sosen.
I I want
Oh,
to
go
I
ahead,
want
go
to say
ahead.
something to what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to agree with everything you said except the part where you said you think they can be allies
Oh,
because
I didn't hear that.
again, and
Damn.
you weren't up here. Yeah, she said she think they can be allies, but she don't think they can be pro-black. You almost had me there
Wow.
until
Okay.
you drove us off a cliff with that bus, you know. So I don't agree with that
Thank you so
because
much.
again, you weren't here a little bit earlier, but I kind of explained it already, but I'll say it again. They have an obligation to still be faithful and wholeheartedly true to their own people. And not only that, their allyship comes at a cost because even again, the people like Jane Elliott and the other people who are anti-racist, because they can't be pro-black, they still are dismantling something that they profit from regardless of how much they preach that they don't want it, right? They're profiting from our trauma, they're profiting from our focal points and talking points because they spit out the same thing we've said for years and generations, right? And then also, again, if our backs are against the wall and it is us against them, think about it. Are they really going to pick our side over their own? Because their
Never.
families look a whole lot like them. Their sisters and brothers and daddies, the patriarchy, look a whole lot like them. You know, it's really hard to pick out the Dahmer in your family if you love them. You feel me? And they do a whole lot of pillaging, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't agree with that saying that they're allies because in totality, nobody is a true ally to anybody other than their own. And the fact that we have to coin the term pro-blackness speaks volumes because the system of race was made for us to be de-elevated and de-centered in life. They profit from our poverty, they profit from our trauma, and they even profit from the issues that they created from us. Them being anti-racist is only a medicine for their creation of racism. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
allies, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Have to
Mm,
disagree.
yeah, I
And this
get
is
that.
coming from a person whose family is also YT. I'm black
Mm-hmm.
biracial. So, you know, for y'all being
Mhm.
like, oh, she just don't like, bruh, like, listen, listen, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
mistake y'all call out. I'm what y'all call mixed and biracial to subjugate me from my own
Aw.
people. So that's where I know right there. Like, you picking a side. I can't even be on that side. Because why? Because I'm black. Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not biracial, but of my siblings, we got one that's almost white passing, and then there's me. I'm dark. So I don't know what went on, who did what when, or any of that. I just know that I
Hmm.
didn't ask no questions, and so they didn't have to tell me no lies.
Hmm.
But yeah, something happened, but it was still my sister. I love her anyway. So the mixed relatives, yeah, we got people who just deliberately went out and made babies with the oppressor, and so okay, we love them too.
Hmm.
However, I think what's happening in Africa right now, where some of the people are trying to meet with some Chinese and with Putin to make agreements, may not be in their best interest. If they can use something they got, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like everybody keeps saying, they are still going to side with their own
Hmm.
when given a choice. Okay, that's what's going to happen. There will be no ands, no ifs, and no buts about that.
Hmm.
That's just the way it's going to be. Now, if you can listen to somebody or you can wait to see it happen yourself and say, oh, they told me so. But, it's just common sense. You figured out now. You're going to help your enemy, help your person you helping, or you're going to help yourself. You're going to come first. So I'm all for the pro-black. Me first. Everybody else and all the genders and all that other stuff get in line. Me, my black self first. Me, my community, the next door neighbor, the whole block first. And then we can sort out all that other stuff a little later on. And people over here were asking me things because, sometimes it gets a little hilarious down there in the comments to me. Because you let people stay in here so long when you know they about to, as you put it, drive over the cliff.
Yeah, yeah, I be knowing, but that's because I expect it. To be honest, we on TikTok, hopefully, I do plan on moving this over to YouTube. Everybody can feel free to subscribe. Um, I could talk a little bit more candidly on YouTube. But
Well, you patient. You're very, very patient. And
yeah.
for the young man that came in here, I had a phone call going on. And with the phone call, I said, oh my, a young man just came into the room. It's about to get crazy. But I said,
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch it like a good TV show. I'm just
Hmm.
going to see how long is it going to take, before everyone has to come in and explain some things. But you did well. You gave him books. I'm so proud of you, host, because sometimes I pop off. I just pop off.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
Yeah,
the
because
more,
after you hear it over and over and over, you just done had enough of that.
yeah, the m- the more I have studied this over and over and over, you get to a point where you can't be in cognitive dissonance no more. You know what that is? Cognitive dissonance when you believe something you know is true, but you act like it's not. So your thoughts don't match your actions. So once you really understand how racism, white supremacy operates, why it operates, and understand that anti-blackness is inherent to black people the same way racism is inherent to white people, um, it kind of makes you callous, but it makes you see the world the way it truly is. So when people come up here, that's why I be making jokes so much, because I don't really believe I can really change some people. I really feel like they got to do that themselves. But if someone come up here and they really just lost in cognitive dissonance, then I'll just start making jokes because now it's just an entertainment. But when it's a brother or sister that is willing to listen, like that young brother that came up here, then
Yes, he
now
did.
that's what I'm up here for. Is hopefully because he could be a father someday, and learn something from one of the books that I gave him to teach to his generations. So hopefully, being up here can be of value to those that are watching. And that when I see something could have value, that's when I get serious. But other than that,
Well,
yeah,
I think you helped the young man today because he didn't put up much of a fight. He didn't argue. It was a lot of, okay, okay, I will. Okay. I
yeah,
was all excited about that. I expected him to act up real bad, but he didn't.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
but thanks for letting me come up here. Let me go back
appreciate you.
down here and have some more jokes.
All
Kiki.
right, all right. One love, Auntie. Appreciate you.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah. Go ahead, talk to us.
You just
Um,
did. You want to ask another one?
yes, please.
I got you. No, go
And
ahead.
quick on her feet.
No, because KK, you mentioned. Did I say that right, KK? Your name?
Yes, ma'am. You did. You did.
Thanks. You mentioned that you're mixed race, right?
I'm black biracial, so mixed ain't a race, but I will say
Mm.
biracial to
Okay, biracial.
insinuate that monoracial they have more melanin, so I must give them more power. I don't experience colorism, and I have to know my privilege in place, so that is why I say black biracial. I am black all day. I don't care what nobody say, but again, I do that because it's descriptor. I have to give those people their homage. If I don't, it's not my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
yes, I'm black. I'm biracial.
That's a white
Absolutely.
supremacist view. It's called the
Shut
one
up,
drop
Greg.
rule.
Okay.
Oh Lord,
Anyway,
no, we're not doing eugenics.
Anyway.
We're not
Yeah,
doing
we're
that.
not
Please
doing
go.
that, please.
anyways,
Not
He don't even
eugenics.
know the name for it. Get out of here. Get out of
That's
here.
not eugenics. That's a one.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. She was asking a question. Go
Keep
ahead, ma'am.
going.
You were
Yeah.
saying?
I wanted to ask you, theoretically, if you have a black person that is very pro-black in everything he or she does, but is dating a white person, like in an interracial relationship, is that person still considered pro-black?
No, no, you can't be pro-black and sleep YT. If you are gonna build, and by definition of pro-blackness, you cannot have somebody outside of the community because your money and your time is going outside of that community. Is their family of the YT person? Are they in the community? No. So where is that time going to? Them. Like you can't build
Mm.
our community by putting other blocks in another. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they can be anti-racist, then that's even on to a certain extent, but they can be anti-racist, which means they don't, incorporate the structural and systemic issues that come to black people. You can be aware of that, but you can't be pro-black because, again, if the woman is YT in that relationship, everything is wholeheartedly going that way because the woman in a power dynamic of a black man is, which I'm pretty much thinking you're assuming that, but in that dynamic, even though the black man would say he has benefit from the patriarchy, it's not the same. The power dynamic of the money still goes to her because she is still proximity of whiteness, even as a woman, right? And then if the dynamic is a black woman and a YT man, that YT man is the runner-up guaranteed for patriarchy. So the money is still controlled by him. So either way it go, it's like, and I'm not saying black men are aloof that date white women, but most of those men are, and they don't even actively teach their children that they are black. They will let it fall on the YT mother, which is why a lot of black biracial people think that they are actually mixed, because that's not a race. Biracial is not a race either. That could be so many different things, but again, you're subjugating yourself when you say that. What are you, Pacific Islander and Afrocentric? Like, what are you, Asian and black? Like, mixed and biracial could be so many things, but they give us that title to make us confuse and deviate ourselves. So you can't date outside of your race and be pro-black with that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And an ally?
Well, you can't be again allies, and somebody said it earlier. It's all lies, because again, you still have that obligation to your people. I'm pretty sure Hoodoo said it. I can't even. Yeah, Hoodoo said it. You
if
can't have the obligation to other people. You just have it to who you are. Like again, like I said, you're dating outside of your race. So where's a lot of that still time and continuum going to?
So
What that
allies
person wants.
basically,
Like,
allies
go
don't
ahead, go ahead.
exist basically, or is that
for
what you're
No,
black
they
saying?
people,
don't. They don't. They're
Ah,
only in us. We're our own
okay.
allies. Because listen. Are there good white people? It don't matter. Because again, show me where they've created legislation to destroy the privilege they have. Show me where they have structural and systems for us to be elevated as a people. So that's why I try to say, as sad as that is, as much as them want to be anti-racist, Jane Elliott or whoever spokesperson, they still benefit from our trauma and they still profit from it. Their allyship comes at a cost, and they will cash that in at the moment that they need to. It's in tokenization and it's in a few other things, but you know.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yo, someone said KB on point. You ain't told one lie.
Not one lie.
Shout out to Sister K, man. Listen, that's why I was glad she got her account back. I said, "Oh, we on." I was telling my wife, I'm like, "K is back. She back. Thank God. Thank the ancestors." Um,
I missed y'all. I missed y'all.
for
Y'all don't even
real,
know.
telling you. MX, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
I'm black, 57 years old. And what
And
else?
your pronouns?
What you mean by pronouns?
He, she, they. Pick one.
I'm a man, 100%.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy, he's a
Okay.
man, y'all. So, do you have a hard time being called he? Is that offensive to you?
Hell no, man, never. I'm
Oh, okay.
57
So,
years old. I'm from the old school. You understand the old school. I ain't about to change. This new, the government God. I call him government God because what God say not to do, the government say you can't do, and people follow the government. They don't follow God. So it's the government God. I ain't about to follow none of this shit. I don't believe in him.
then
Oh,
why
so
you
you
say
live
you was
off the
black?
grid? Oh,
No,
that's
I don't
good.
live off the grid. I do some other
Are you
shit.
are you
I mean,
from
excuse my language.
are you from
I'm from
California?
California.
You sound like
Yes.
Crip Mac. He said
You
he gonna
do.
keep it
No.
55th.
Put that on us.
Petty.
Why?
That is petty.
No, but why you say black then?
What you mean?
I asked you your race. You said black.
No, I'm pro-black.
So, black is still a colonizer term, same as
Black
man.
is the colonizers.
When I ask you your pronouns,
I know, but Trip, understand this. Everything they
uh huh.
got, we gave to them. They used to grunt in caves. We taught them how to talk, written the language for them.
I
So how
mean,
do anything come? How do anything come from them when they
you
used to
see,
grunt?
you see how I asked you your pronouns, and you turn into like, Plato or something. Like, why
No,
couldn't you
I'm
just
just.
say he, man? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, if you know you don't want to be called no she, why you can't just say he, bro? We could have
Oh,
kept it pushing.
yeah. I wasn't understanding because I
Oh,
was
all right,
doing my
all right.
bad.
Talk to us.
It, it,
Talk
it,
to us.
um, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Our history been totally wiped out. When they come and talk about pull yourself up by your bootstraps, man, we did it a long time ago. We had over 150 some towns burnt down to the ground. Just imagine. The oil company used to get the money from the black banks before it was any white banks. I mean, when you do the research and make you feel real to say, what's really going on? Did everybody come here? Well, my daddy came here poor. It's a reason because we got to understand our history, who we really are. We don't. That's the problem. We're not knowing who we really are, the power we really possess, and why they do what they do to keep the holders down. It's a reason. They know. We don't have a birth record on our birth record ain't even on this planet. If you want to take it there, we've been here for a long time, a very long. These people was
Then
babies
where? I'm talking about
on this earth,
Earth.
on this planet. Yes, a
Hmm.
very long time. Very long time. These people was babies. So they don't have no, this is my language. We taught you how to talk and walk. What language could you really, if you really take it here? You used to grunt. Everything, the alphabet you got, everything you got come from us. Everything. When you were, when the pyramids was built, you was in, come on, I don't even want to go there. I don't want people to, but the truth don't never be, this is what the children need to know. You got little black kids in school being talked about it. They calling me this. Shouldn't nobody be able to call black kid nothing? Why? Because they don't know their history. And they doing everything in their power to not get these babies to know their history. They don't even want to teach it straight blunt in your face. No, we ain't teaching nigga history. We ain't
Don't
teaching
say any
that.
word.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
excuse my language, but this is how they
Mm-hmm.
feel. My bad, you're right. We ain't teaching
Mm-hmm.
that. We teaching something else. Look at the inventions. Look at all the inventions we did when we was in slavery. With no schooling. Look at the inventions we're doing with no schooling. Couldn't even read or write, but look what we was creating. Nobody pay attention. How can they do that with no schooling? Now we got school, something's wrong. It was programmed. That's why school, you look at the school, you look at the jails, the whole same system. The church, school, and jail, same system. Identical. Tax free. Man, we just been set up. We need to wake up and go there and worry about the babies. The babies is the ones that need this information because they could do something with it. We ain't did nothing with it. We got it late. I'm finding out. I'm 57. I'm finding out a lot of this stuff in my 50s.
Okay. You ain't lying.
It's a lot of history. I just want to say this. Just imagine Rosewood. Just a couple of them. I don't really need another 130 you burnt down. Just a couple of them. Where would we have been right now as a black America? How many? 12%? 14%? Every
Mm-hmm.
black person in America be balling living in Beverly Hills. They were scared of that. They were scared of that. We was a total different people. Total compared to now, we didn't have all this robbing and disrespect to women. We had none of this shit. They say, damn, during the 60s, they said, we can't have war. Once we take the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King out, we got to do something. And they flooded with drugs. We've been high ever since. We've been high ever since. They start polluting all the food, everything. I say, look at them because they waking up. We don't need that. And ever since then, they turned them into a whole nother ball game. Look at the 70s. Just do your homework and look for your. You don't have to believe me. Look for yourself that came with the welfare. I remember when I was in school, I was learning plumbing and electrician. I used to always go where the girls was learning cooking at to eat the food. I was like the only dude had the classes. I was greedy. They took all of that out. They took all of them, the electrician, because you go get a job when you come from school. Electrician pay enough money for you to send your kids to college if you want to. And don't let you get your own company. They say no. This was done on purpose. Understand, for us to hate each other. It was done on purpose. It was done on purpose, man.
All right. We hear you. You ain't said nothing but a word, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. We do gotta get back to the topics, but that was
No,
that.
you
You
not.
ain't
No,
lying.
no, you can't. No, they can't be pro-black. No, pro-black is for pro-black people, for black people that went through what we went through. No, you can't. I don't know why we even have to discuss this. Can you be? Well, hell no. The only one I give a pass was John Brown. That's the type of white pro-black you be, like John Brown. Blood in, blood out. That's the only way you got to kill some motherfucker. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Oh man, nah, you can't say that up here. All right,
My bad.
appreciate you.
My
All
bad.
right, all right,
My bad, bro.
Holy
all
Spirit,
right.
activate. All right, you guys, tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. I'm losing my voice, but let me see if I can do what I do. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Get your sage out. running around the room.
My
All right,
wife
you
is
guys.
literally doing that right now with Sage. That's crazy. You said that.
Amen. Go and bless that house, Miss Legend. All right, you guys. I need you to tap it out. Tap, tap, tap. We need 100K likes in the room. 100K likes. Let's get to it. Leisha, what's our next goal? Can you share the live, you guys? Share the live with your friends, your frenemies, and we'll accept your enemies. Also, make sure that you guys subscribe to Brother Legends Live. Go ahead and subscribe to Brother Legends Live. Subscribe to the live and subscribe to Brother Legends YouTube. Make sure y'all are gifting the host. Next goal's 125K. Let's go. Tap that screen. Tap, tap.
I'm about to. Yeah, I should have said 100. I gotta go soon.
Yeah, I heard it the first time.
Cause I'm tired as hell. If y'all can't know, if y'all ain't noticed, I'm tired of this today.
Don't be grumpy.
Yeah, no, I'm not grumpy. No, I'm not. I'm not grumpy. I don't know. Sometimes, honestly, I've had this discussion with my wife. I'm only grumpy when I'm hungry. She's grumpy when she's tired. I'm grumpy when I'm hungry. If I ain't eat, listen, become a whole nother legend. Well, anyway, Goddess, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Peace, family. Black woman,
Peace.
and I'm 29. I
Appreciate you.
wanted
Talk to
to
us.
touch base on does the LBG whatever alphabet community movement benefit the Black community? And honestly, I can only speak on what I see right now. What I see is now they're inviting them into the schools for special dances and drag race get-alls and all that stuff. I just don't think that's appropriate. What they represent is not appropriate, most of them. I'm not saying that some people in that community actually don't respect how most heterosexual thinks, but what they do is not appropriate, and it confuses these children. And we have enough confusion
Hold on,
going
sister.
on.
Hold on. I will say, just when you say stuff like, also homophobia is also disrespectful, and the way you're saying this,
I'm not speaking from a
take it to an
homophobic place. I have
intellectual
plenty of gay
level.
friends.
Yeah,
You
we
just
ask it.
said that them
Yeah,
being,
you
yeah,
gotta
you
bring
just
it.
said that that's not normal. You got to be intellectual about it,
Yeah, you
okay?
see what I'm saying? Be
Because what you're
selective with your
I'm
saying,
not saying
vocabulary.
it's not
like,
normal. I said it's many of them, some of them, because it's some of them that think just the same as heterosexual people think. That some people in the alphabet community overdo it to the point where things are inappropriate for children. That's what I said.
But
I
can
didn't
we
speak for all of them.
but
But you,
it's wrapped in homophobia. What you're
let's bring
saying,
it back home
it's a
though. Let's
yeah.
focus on how the movement in general, does it benefit Black community?
No, it
Because when we
doesn't.
do that, it gets dangerous, y'all.
yeah, dude.
Okay, well, no, I don't see how it does. If somebody can elaborate
Do
and
you believe
educate
that
me.
there's? Do you think that there's heterosexual things that are confusing the children as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, would you say children reciting the lyrics to "Sexy Red" about the color of holes that children shouldn't even know what color they is?
If that's what you want your kids to listen to, you'll see what the result be. That's all I
Oh,
can
so
say.
now it's if that's what you want your kids to do, then it's all right.
You
I'm
see,
not
brother,
I'm
you see what
not
I was
saying that
pointing
it
out.
makes it. I'm not saying that it makes it. I don't let my children listen to no shit like
I'm
that.
just
But
saying, keep that same energy.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
that.
people if that's what you let your kids listen to, you gonna see the end results.
But see, that's dangerous because, and this is why. Because when it comes to a community that you're not a part of, it's a full-fledged fight, right? And it's understanding that I don't like this. But when it comes to
I
somebody that is
understand, Miss D,
hetero,
what you're saying.
but no, yeah, okay, you get it. So if it comes to heterosexual, then it's like if y'all are okay with y'all's choice, we have to be across the board the same way. So that's why I said, when it comes to our Black people in general,
You
I
saying
don't
hold
care
them
what
accountable
your
the same way.
yes, you Black,
Okay.
I'm with you. You with us. Like at the end of the day. So there's this movement that is not Black of like, does it benefit our community?
Well, black people, I'll tell you this: you let your kids listen to Sexy Red, you're gonna get a sexy red child. Okay?
Oh my God.
That's all I
Listen,
can
my
say.
kid ain't going nowhere near y'all Babylon artists. My,
Okay,
my,
that's
my
all I can
child
say.
ain't
You
going
let
no.
your kids listening to that kind of stuff, just like on the other spectrum. Hey, that's the kind of results that you're looking
I'm
forward to.
telling you. And this is what I be telling.
I
Listen,
disagree, huh?
I ain't gonna have my kid around none of y'all kids either in them school
And that
systems.
too. I mean, and that too.
Listen,
It's
like
easily rubbed off. They kids are magnets, sponges. They pick up on all that stuff very easily. So just like I said before, with the alphabet community, the same thing goes for heterosexual people and their mistakes. You let your kids listen to that demonic shit. Excuse me, demonic stuff.
Oh,
Wait,
see,
wait,
oh,
wait,
even using
wait,
that type of word,
wait.
demonic.
Why do
Wait a
we
minute.
think like this, y'all? Like, people,
You see?
man, this shit. Listen, okay, we gotta get away from this because I don't think a gay person is demonic. Y'all,
I didn't say. I'm talking
but you,
about the sexy
I thought
red
she was talking about
movement.
Sexy
but
Red.
but
Yeah.
now
What
hold
are you talking
on, now hold
about?
on, listen, because I know Kay heard the same thing I heard. When we correlate things,
I said demonic stuff, meaning the music like
okay,
sexy
all
red. That's
right,
what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
Demonic
let
is still a wild way to put it, but because that's a
Yeah, because I was
religion.
gonna say it's
Yeah.
a black woman that's saying that made from a white industry of music. So I even
That
to
she
tie
decided to be a
demonic
part
to
of,
our people, I don't like that. So okay,
but
if
she
we're living
decided
in
to be
this
a part
world,
of
I don't
that.
need to be a part of the colonization or the patriarchy either, but I have to. She making her coin, she making her money, but to connotate
But
demonic
at
to
what
our
cost?
people as we've always done is weird. Like it's like I just you don't understand the irony and the hypocrisy of what you're saying. Like intellectually, we can discuss if the movement itself affects people, but I see that you keep singling out. Well, some of them do this and they do this, and there's these special dances. Like that's literally homophobia wrapped in the double standard of your
Okay, honey, I'm
hypocrisy.
done.
Because well, no, don't get done. We're just having a conversation. I'm just trying to get you to understand when you say things like that, it creates a further division. Because if you think that that weren't like this weren't in our diaspora in history of Africa, then you would be wrong. But we didn't make it the fabric of how they do today to deviate us from that diaspora. We had people that were just like this in our community historically, but we didn't own that as its own system. We were all just black. You see what I'm saying? But you're demonizing them for their sexuality, which you can't do because that is Eurocentric. You can't do that.
But one question: can you be a Christian and be still pro-black?
Oh no,
No,
that's
well,
a blanket of white tea supremacy. Look,
all right. So the answer is yes and no, right? Because you gotta say you can't say that
it's nuanced, yeah.
Marcus Garvey wasn't pro-black. This guy invented it. So well, he didn't invent it, but damn near. And you know, he was a Christian. So
but brother, that goes back to saying, do black people and YT people worship the same God? Now,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I was
You're
gonna
right.
say it's nuanced, and then I was also gonna say you have to
But
look at the generation he was in to create that too.
the answer to that question is no. And Marcus Garvey did not worship the same Christian God as those other people. Marcus Garvey is the one who said, if a man does have to worship a God, let him worship a God that looks like him. And he was talking about black men. So he was saying, he prefer us to pray to a God that looks like us. So that's what I'm saying about black Christianity and Islam was they took what the oppressor gave them and flipped it to make it better for us as a people, as a unifying force. If there was no black Christianity, we'd get no Ethiopianism to PanAfricanism to Rastafarianism to Garveyites to Martin Luther King to Malcolm X to like it started with these colonizer religions. It's just we took it and made it something else. Like we take struggle and make art. So we made something better for us. And that's why the conversation always gets nuanced when you bring up religion and black liberation, because there's always gonna be some people telling you like that Muslim guy that came up here earlier, like when we talk about how Islam was used as a weapon against Africans in the Eastern slave trade, he's going to bring up, well, no, it's actually haram to own a slave. And like he's going to say all this other stuff, like gaslighting us, because he's going to use the black Muslims of West Africa who were anti the Eastern slave trade to say that no, those are our brothers too, and they were against it. So It gets very confusing, to be honest. But if you prioritize your Abrahamic religion over the liberation of your people, then yes, absolutely, it's problematic. If your book tells you drinking alcohol is a sin, and drinking alcohol will literally liberate your people for whatever reason, that would be a thing. Then you say you can't do it because it's haram, then we can't go with you. If your book tells you that you need to love your oppressor no matter what he does to you and turn the other cheek, then I'm sorry, we can't rock with you.
That's
But yeah.
right.
But many black people, if y'all want to look up Ishaka Musa Barashango, he explains how the Bible can be used as an African liberation textbook, and how basically, you know, Jesus was about that life. Jesus was a brother about that life. If you want to get deep into it, so you don't.
Could,
It doesn't always have to be turn the other cheek, guys. Jesus said, "I'm coming back with fire and a sword next time." So you
could
know,
you say that again? What book was it?
the doctor's name is Ishaka Musa
Hmm.
Barashango, and I forgot the name of his book. But he has more lectures than books on YouTube. He's going to be someone you can listen to about pro-black Christianity, and a retelling of the Bible through an Afrocentric perspective. However, he's not the one you're going to want to go to about this last question. Um,
Okay.
you know what
I
I'm
get it.
saying?
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
he don't mince his words. But uh, yeah, I'm gonna just
Could
leave
you
it there. Eat the
put it in
meat,
the
spit out the
comments?
bones. Yeah, I'll type it. It's. I'm sorry, that was an accident. I was trying to type. It's quite a word to spell. Ishaka Musa.
Thank you.
Yup. All right. So the next guest.
With you if I address the first question.
Okay. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm white. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm 22.
Okay. Thank you. Talk to us.
So I'm gonna obviously just speak from a white perspective. I have a black brother and I have a best friend that is black. And in my opinion, I feel that any race of person can support any other types of racial movements. So I feel like white people can absolutely support black people and embrace their culture without appropriating it. So of course, like, anyone can support any movement. So I don't think that people can say white people can't be pro-black, because if I understand where you're coming from and the place that you've been hurt by all of the oppression that you've gone through, I can absolutely support you through that and do what I can as a white person to make you more comfortable with white people.
All right. So, wow.
What? It's weird how you was like on your
What's
phone
that
and
cell
Google is
phone
free,
is?
and you literally didn't look up what the meaning of pro-black was. Do you realize that embrace and embody are two
Say
different
Google is
things?
free
You
to
can
anyone.
embrace Well, you can embrace a lot of things, man, but can you embody it? No. You can be standing beside racism, but is it hurled at you? No. And the fact that you came up here and said speaking from a white T perspective, but you had to validate it with my black brother is insane, girl. Just tell us what you want to say. You don't got to validate it because you got
Can you
proximity to
explain to me
blackness and a brother.
exactly what you mean by pro-black?
See, that's what I was talking about. Google
Yeah.
free.
Google is free. I actually just Googled it for the first time,
So
because
I
I
don't
read a
really like
lot,
all the
and
laughing
I'm
and
at.
stuff, because I'm just coming from a genuine place
Oh,
of
come on, calm down, relax.
no, I'm just coming from a genuine place of trying to understand and
Sorry,
Yeah,
trying.
but
Yeah.
don't get all emotional. Relax. All
Man, a
right,
genuine place of condescension. Come on now.
all right. So The definition: the key characteristic of pro-blackness is that it deals with power. In fact, pro-black means not only directly dealing with power, but also building power for black people. That's what you get when you Google it. So, can you imagine if you read books on it? Oh my goodness. Prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building the black community. Building power. I could say building power within the black community. I could also say empowering the black community. That has nothing to do with feeling sorry about the oppression that my people have been through and what we go through. And
No, my point was saying trying to support.
no, does does someone that's pro-life just support all life, or are they anti-abortion?
What's up? I love it.
Damn, me, myself, and
Thank
I. That was
you,
fire.
myself and
I
I. That
guess I
was
see
so
your point
nice.
there. But now that I understand the meaning of pro black, I do understand what you're saying. And I agree with you that it is about empowerment. And, I've never had a problem with that. But I appreciate you letting me in on the discussion.
Okay.
AKA, she appreciates you doing all the heavy lifting, even though Google was free and she could have saw it herself.
Google's definitely free.
For,
I do
it's
it for the
duplicitous.
audience. I do it for the audience, man.
I'm gonna say
Did you
this.
have anything else to say about the other topics, Kelsey?
No, that was the only one.
I don't. Y'all have a good night.
No, she just came up here for black people.
No, she kept
That's it.
her to feel entitled to black proximity. And that's
Yeah.
very weird. Cause she
No,
forced
it's
herself on
typical.
us. That was weird. I felt a little great.
Yeah. I felt a few things. Man, oh man, if I could say what I want to say, I'm telling you, this life might even be fun no more for white folks. I hope, are y'all still here? Do they even tune in? Like I do be getting some DMs from y'all. It wouldn't even be fun no more. It wouldn't even someone say I feel violated. Yeah, she definitely did a violence. And then she even tried to get all fragile. I had to mute her. It was wild, man. Uh, and some of y'all out here dating them. I'll be like, I don't know how you do it.
That was a real Karen. No, no, no.
Right. I don't
And
know
then she
how.
validated with her black brother. Like, okay, your brother is black, but what? What are you talking
And
about?
my
Like,
best
I hate when
friend.
they do that. Just tell us what you want to say. Don't
Hey,
validate it with your proximity to blackness. Come
It
on.
my
was
Right.
so
friend.
stereotypical, though. It was like a movie or a show.
Bro, you sound drunk. You drinking?
A little bit. Okay,
I was thinking it, but then
wine.
you said it. I was
Oh,
thinking it.
snap.
Oh shit. Oh my god. I was
Bree,
like, is she
alright,
a little
Bree.
tipsy? Like, she's a
That
little
good,
wild.
good shit alcohol.
It was all just running together, Bree. Like it was all running together.
Alright, Bree. Bree up here getting lit.
But
I
I don't
would
know.
too, having to listen to half these people.
I find it interesting when people like force
Wine.
themselves on someone else's community just because they have proximity or they're getting penetrated by a black person. It's
They
very weird.
cannot believe we are telling them there's something that they cannot do. That's what this question brings out of them. They always. That's
Mm,
why I asked him earlier when he came up. I'm like, do you believe white people can go to Jupiter? He's like, yeah, yeah. We can do anything. That's they don't believe there are some things that you should not be a part of. Some things you should not touch. There are going to be times when you're going to be assumed guilty till proven innocent.
right.
And don't look at me like you're upset that in this conversation you're guilty till proven innocent. I'm assumed guilty till proven innocent every day.
Every
So
day.
just for a few minutes on my live, you're guilty till proven innocent. So now you know what it feel like. You'll be all right.
I honestly liked when you asked that because it proves so much and they expose themselves. Like when you ask them, what can't you do? Or what can you do? It's this way of almost like showing off the privilege. The same way with that weird lady. Like how do you say you want to go back to a time where you get to sit on your ASS and the men get to be men? And you just telling me how lazy you are. But you also get to tell me how comfortable you are with the world because you don't have to worry if something goes left.
Mm-hmm.
You feel so cushioned in society that if you vote or not, nothing changes. Roe versus Wade. I'm keep saying that. You're still gonna be a person that if you lay on this bed and you're impregnated, you don't have to worry about your life ending, whereas a black woman has to worry, and that's why we speak so much on Roe versus Wade. So it's this dynamic that and comfortability that they have that they do not understand. Everyone else does not get, and that's weird. But I'm gonna shut up,
Well,
Father.
that's
Yeah.
because
My voice.
I'm going to say no, D. It makes sense because a lot of white tea women love the fact of the position that they're in because they actually feed off of the position of the patriarchy that they have their men in, right? Like you said, like feminism, it just added more cushion for the pushing because they don't mind that they are getting
Hey,
intercourse
hey.
over by America. You know what I'm saying? It do. Like I just don't. That's why they don't really care to fight because they like, well, either way it go, they gonna make laws so I can unalive my babies if I want to. They gonna make laws where I can have affirmative action and still get in, even if I don't care, and I'm just going to get married. Like they have more cushion to be like, I don't care what happens because it ain't gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Does
I
somebody
agree.
know? I heard that the feminism movement was pushed by the government to destabilize the Black Panther Party. Does somebody know anything about that?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Oh,
Gloria Steinem. Look up Gloria Steinem.
I
thank
just
you.
think it's funny that I forget what state it was. They were talking about how they were going to take like MLK and I think they had already taken Malcolm X out of the book, but then they were like, and then we're going to take out Susan B. Anthony, and I was like, Susan B. Anthony was a racist who only wanted white women to be able to vote to take away from black men being able to vote. Why do they want to take her out? They put her on a coin.
The funny thing about that is how angry they were with women's suffrage. You're telling me you're gonna let a black man vote before me? Oh, that timeline and dynamic is so interesting. But
Crazy, mad as hell. Heck,
I got a confused brother in my Discord. If anybody want to go unpack some mayonnaise. Um. All right, y'all. Well, I guess we cleared out the list. If anybody else wants to say something, feel free. But if not, I'm about to
Well, I'm gonna
go
just say
ahead.
before I go, thank you for having me up. I appreciate it. Y'all ended it right on cue because my phone got 1%, but that's how I'm feeling. Like it's crazy because it's like the farther we elevate in our education, the more small the people that are still left in the bigotry look to me. And I'm not trying to call those people insignificant, but that's what it feels like because as much as I try not to attribute your lack of education to malice, the truth of it is it's still in there. Like y'all
Yeah.
do it for the benefit to make us mad and to show your privilege. So, I'm like, as much as y'all try to do that, I'm gonna have to be myself and say the truth. And if y'all don't like it, y'all don't like it. Like it's just I hate that us as black people we limit ourselves and we live in a system of choices that aren't made for us. Like we can literally everything is a construct. Everything, especially the time continuum of America. So why are we still trying to live up to this? Like, if
right.
you want to do something, do it. You don't have to listen to them. Everything is made up. Make up your own rules, bro. Make them up. We'll figure it out as we go. Like, just be black when you're doing it. Like, that's all I ask. But thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it, brother. I hope get you some food or some sleep, whichever help you better.
Yeah, I'm
Cause
gonna go sleep. I'm about to
you
knock out.
overlook, yeah.
Right. So y'all, I'm gonna
But
take us
thank
on
you.
around the sun real quick before I lose the rest of this voice. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. All right, you guys, we have reached the end of the tunnel. You guys, thanks for stopping by Brother Legends Live. Again, thanks for stopping in. You guys, make sure that you gift Brother Legend. Make sure that you follow Brother Legend on YouTube and here on this amazing TikTok. Share the lives, pay attention, but make sure that you send the pause. And don't forget, if you're not black, hop in that tub before you hop in black business. Don't forget the towel.
All right. Appreciate you, D. I want to remind y'all too. If you want to help the brothers and sisters in the Congo, you can tap on that same link, b1initiative.org, and you'll see a support link on my website. to donate $1, $2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Just send something over there to the Congolese brothers and sisters, especially the children. It's helping make sure that they fed. It might not be systemic change, but as we work on that, we can at least extend a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? We're using these phones that they made, so let's use it to their benefit as well. I appreciate y'all. One love. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
Don't forget the towel.